podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good welcome to episode 368 of Film Bastards. I am one of your co-hosts, Mark Foster, and as ever, I am joined by
Becky Foster. Hello, everybody.
And
Ian Loring going into lockdown, baby. Let's go.
yeah, Ian is back in lockdown from Friday. We're not because they just want us to fucking spread that disease, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's because our government doesn't care about us.
What?
It's because we're not devolved. Our government doesn't care about us.
No, they don't. We are literally battery pounds to them.
Well, we should be able to devolve as just the North.
That won't go well.
I think it would. I think we'd be
we're
fine.
From Yorkshire.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's we luckily we live in a very cosmopolitan part of Yorkshire. The rest of it is just racism and broken trampolines.
We still don't have to mix with them.
I know, but
We'll get Andy Burnham to be our Prime Minister in the North.
I think he'll go. Whoa, Yorkshire, got my hands full over here. Don't need that. But we're not going to talk about that. No, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some fucking movies, motherfuckers. We've got a pretty prestige show, actually. We're doing retro reviews of movies that came out this year.
Yeah.
At Queen and Slim and Uncut Gems. And we're covering the latest Netflix offering, the Aaron Sorkin written and directed The Trial of the Chicago 7.
It's been a very serious week, hasn't it?
It's been a very serious week, but
very serious people?
Yeah, we are serious people. Of course we are. Very serious people.
I mean,
yep.
What?
You're not.
I'm a deeply serious man.
I mean,
what?
You can't even get morning, afternoon, and evening in the right order.
I don't need to. I'm too serious.
He's busy using too much of his brain power on his album.
Yeah. Arousal Cafe.
Arousal Cafe. And Noel and I contributed to that today, didn't we?
They did, yes. I'll play it to you later on. Noel and Ian have written us like a little sample that I'm going to put on Arousal Cafe.
Amazing.
Of U2's discotheque.
I'm so excited.
You should be. It's arousing. So that's what we've got covering, plus the usual trailers, maybe some news, and other bits along the way. Ian, has there been any news, or have movies just given up?
I mean, this isn't strictly film news, but I will just say a trailer for a new Call of Duty mode just appeared in the last hour or so, where they're having a Halloween event featuring Leatherface and Jigsaw.
I mean,
what the fuck is that?
That's mental. But also as well, you're thinking, I mean, Leatherface would kick Jigsaw's ass, wouldn't he?
You'd think so, but no. It looks like you're going to be able to get a Leatherface skin, which is quite appropriate considering what he wears.
Yeah, it's literally a skin.
I feel like, though, Leatherface is a bit of a blunt instrument, isn't he? Like, Jigsaw, I think, could probably outthink him.
Yeah, but while Jigsaw's twatting about trying to make all these fucking little fucking things and Fortniting it in the corner, then your fucking Leatherface will just come up to him and just start just hitting him with like a tree or something like that.
Leatherface, is he not the Texas Chainsaw Man?
Yeah.
He uses a chainsaw.
Yeah, but he might not have picked that up yet. He might not have found that yet.
There is a part of the trailer where it's Leatherface firing off a gun.
Oh dear. That's off-brand.
I don't know. There's also another bit where the Jigsaw puppet is literally trying to mow someone down in a truck.
He called Jerry the Jigsaw pup.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah.
Jerry.
Jigsaw pup is not called Jigsaw, it's called Jerry, I think.
Okay. I just... like somebody just forwarded it in a WhatsApp group I'm in earlier on, was like, this looks all right, and it was just like, Billy. I was just wondering where the fuck is this going. Billy, that's
Billy,
it.
That's the name of the what, is it?
Yeah.
But
because fucking Billy's so much fucking better than Jerry.
I mean, it's better than Jerry.
Yeah. Well, as Welsh cinemas go into lockdown on Friday, and I did say this before we started formally recording, there's no Patreon pre-show today because we were talking about work and stuff, and it probably wasn't it wasn't for public consumption. So Showcase Cinemas, my local, are going to be shutting down on Friday. They emailed me today, John, I'm assuming the manager of the Cardiff Nantgarw site, saying, I can see you booked tickets. I'd like to give you some complimentary tickets when you're back. I emailed back saying, look, don't worry about it. It was a screening of The Exorcist. It's fine. I'm sure you guys could do with the fucking money. And he emailed back saying, that's really nice. I'll pass that on, but we want to give you some comp tickets. Very, very nice of him. And it's the kind of personal touch that I wonder whether Cineworld could do with more of, judging by their Twitter account. Just feels quite impersonal.
Which seems like it's written by a robot on asshole setting.
Yeah. This was literally like a couple of hours after the lockdown announcement, and I assume it was the manager of the fucking site emailing me, which was very nice of him. So it's the kind of thing that kind of stays with you, I think. And I wish Showcase had an unlimited card, because holy fucking shit, I'd be there all the time and I would buy concessions. Anyway,
earlier in the week about Odeon Cinema Group. If you turn up with your unlimited card, they'll give you half price tickets.
Yeah.
That's pretty good as well.
Yeah, but imagine that if you're just a regular Odeon patron and you're like, what the fuck, guys?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, there's an offer for them. It's called Limitless.
All right. So they do like an unlimited thing?
Yeah.
All right. Fuck them guys then.
Dude, way hard.
I mean, I'll be honest. It's like if after this 2-week local lockdown, the Odeon in Cardiff opens up and Cineworld's still shut, considering I've already banked that Cineworld Unlimited thing, I'd be kind of tempted to join their Limitless scheme. Just anywhere I can just watch some movies, not have to worry about shelling out £7 every time. But anyway, the reason why I mentioned that, so New York State cinemas outside of the city are going to be able to reopen from this coming Friday, which does seem to be the start of maybe things starting to ramp up a little bit in the US. So it's like I say, it's outside of the city and a handful of other counties, but AMC, who own Odeon, have already said they'll be opening their locations. So, here's hoping. Hope?
What's that?
I mean, it's you got to have some of it. You got to try. There's nothing major out now until. Well, actually, in the US, they've got The Croods 2 next month, which could do well in Thanksgiving. But then you've got Death on the Nile in December. Maybe that hits. Maybe. Stranger things have happened at sea.
Yeah. We also did you see the wonderfulness of the Batman in his
dressing gown?
In his dressing gown. Yeah.
Did you see the picture of him stood on the Library building though?
Yeah, did you see that somebody took the photo and exchanged the picture of Batman to the Liver building and cut that out and put one of the ones from the Fathers for Justice thing and replaced it with a guy just in a Batman suit on the top there. And the Daily Mail put the wrong picture in.
Nice. Yeah, it's fun to see films in production where it's just like, but not that you're not going to be out for 2 years, and are you even going to be out in 2 years? Who knows?
So I find it really difficult to get excited about movie news now, because it's like
it's hard.
All right, yeah, let's wait and see what fucking happens, shall we?
I saw some movie news, but I saw it when I was when I'd woken up and you weren't quite up yet, so I couldn't press play on a thing because then it'd have woken you up. So I was looking at it and I thought, holy shit, is there going to be another Die Hard movie? And it turns out, no, there isn't going to be another Die Hard movie. It's an advert for car parts.
Right.
Starring Bruce Willis.
And Argyle.
And Argyle's in it as well.
Yeah. It's 2 minutes long, and don't watch it.
I'm not gonna. I don't give a shit. I watched A Good Day to Die Hard a few times, and I own it on Steelbook, so I don't think I need to watch that.
I think you paid your dues there.
I have, yeah, I have. I've paid my dues. Literally, if I were to ever pirate anything, I think when they said, "All right, we're trying," I go, "Hang on a minute," and I just show them that, and then just go, "Fair enough, yeah, okay."
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's really much else, to be honest. I don't know. Harvey Weinstein's lawyer was saying he's probably going to die in prison. Cool.
Kind of what happens if you commit crimes that mean you're going to be in prison for longer than you have expected life left.
Yeah, that's a big old shrug emoji.
I would go further than say it's shrug emoji. I would say that it is verging on DiCaprio meme.
Yeah, there you go.
I said that's a bit harsh. This is a man's life, but it's Harvey Weinstein, so fuck him.
It's Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Eva Longoria joins Ice Cube in Timur Bekmambetov's sci-fi pick for Universal. Harrison Ford and Ed Helms to star in STX comedy The Adventures of Burt Squire, which 100% sounds like a film that Harrison Ford would be starring in these days.
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube is teetering on the edge of being cancelled, I think. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
What's he been doing?
His foundation, which is a jobs for I think it's jobs for low skilled black workers, has been negotiating with the Trump administration about sponsorship and not with the Biden camp there. So he's kind of got a little bit of backlash for that. His explanation for it is...
shit, I'm just reading his tweet, sorry.
Yeah, he's basically said, look, they've been the only one out of the two of us that have wanted to, out of the two so far, that have approached us to talk about it, and we want to talk to everybody rather than saying, no, we'll only talk to you guys. So I can see he's kind of, it's a little bit like, hang on a minute, just stop pointing things and shouting before you know everything, a little bit.
Yeah, fair enough.
Ice Cube has set up a charity to make money for. One camp is saying that that they'd like to talk to him about how it works, etc. So he's talked to them. The other camp haven't yet. It's not. He very much has been, I'm not endorsing this. What is it? I'm also not endorsing this one. What's it?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. Not much going on this week. It's the ramp up to the fucking election, innit? I don't think there's going to be much happening in Hollywood for the next couple of weeks.
No, it's everything's just a bit weird at the moment, isn't it?
You're hosting, dude.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm getting a thing from work.
Okay.
2 seconds. Look. Do this on
Oh, okay. Sorry, he's disappeared to do something work related.
Okay.
And swearing at the cat. I finished Resident Evil.
17 hours later. Good job.
Yeah, it was good times. I haven't finished it before. I've played Resident Evil 1 before, but not finished it.
Yeah.
So it was good. It was good to get to the end of it.
Do you kill Wesker?
No, because Wesker's in later games, isn't he?
Games, isn't he? Yeah, fair enough.
So it's a standard Resident Evil ending where you just go off in a helicopter.
Yeah, nice.
But then I kind of restarted it as Chris, because I thought, in the Jill storyline, Chris doesn't actually make it into the mansion. He goes off somewhere else, and it's just Barry, Wesker, and Jill that are in the mansion. So you get to play and do whatever Chris is doing in the background outside of the mansion, and it'll be really exciting. No, in the Chris version, Chris ends up in the mansion, so it's just basically the same story but with 2 fewer storage compartments. So I couldn't be arsed with that bullshit.
Oh fuck yeah, no.
Yeah.
No,
So you
no,
go down
no.
from 8 to 6.
No.
Too many trips back to the storage box as it is with Jill.
I played about 5 hours of Ghost of Tsushima, then looked out how long it takes to beat it, and was like, right, I'm only about 20% of the way through this. Fuck that, and I just deleted it.
I don't understand how you can do that. Do you not want to like see how it ends?
Nah.
Wow. Crazy.
Nah.
Crazy to know.
Back in the room.
Go on then, bud.
Right, trailers. Trailers.
There are some.
There actually are some, yeah.
It's very exciting.
It's possibly arousing. So before we get to the biggie, what have you seen, Ian?
I actually can't recall, apart from the one today. I don't know, you guys talk some, jog my memory.
Go on, Bex.
So, well, I've only really got the 2 that we watched today.
Well, I'll go with some other ones then.
You go.
Because seriously, because clearly I care about future movies more. The Kid Detective.
I haven't watched
Oh, it's just the Adam Brody one.
Adam Brody plays a detective that was a detective when he was a kid and is now still a detective now, but running the same detective agency that he kind of ran from his treehouse when he was a kid. But he actually has to investigate an actual crime rather than just like petty snitching and stuff like that he was investigating before.
Right.
I'm actually kind of up for this because I kind of like Adam Brody's like just kind of monosyllabic kind of just like the bit that he plods along with there. I like the fact that he seems to have gone, do you know what? I've made my nut. I don't need any more. I'm okay with just kind of just doing random shit that makes me kind of like chuckle. I will turn up every so often. I'll do like a little indie pick that I might get like to be like the star of, but the rest of it, I'll just turn up for like if it's anything more than 6 days filming, I ain't doing it.
Is Adam Brody that turns up in the League?
Yeah, he does turn up in the league. Yeah. But he's always like he's great as little like side characters in things.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I actually quite like the look of this, to be honest. I'll be hunting it down. What else we got? Hillbilly Elegy?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, it's a weird one, this. It's been getting, like, reviews have all been, sort of, like, early reviews have all been like, it's really fucking miserable. But I'm fine with that. Everything's miserable right now, so it's an outlet for that misery. It looks quite good. I think it looks quite good.
It does. It looks a little bit from the trailer, and it might not because I'll watch it partially because it's on Netflix and we can actually watch it. But also, but it does look a little bit like a boring version of The Place Beyond the Pines.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Like if somebody took The Place Beyond the Pines and went, right, how can we make your parents want to watch this? Let's cast Glenn Close, and let's put a really bad piano soundtrack over the trailer and make it look like something that would be on ITV if ITV had like a premium section. So it looks a little bit like that.
So it's not going to be better than The Place Beyond the Pines because it won't have Ben Mendelsohn picking up a dog and wiggling it about.
It won't. It'll probably have fucking Glenn Close laughing at a hamster or something like that. That will be its equivalent.
Mm-hmm.
Glenn Close laughs at a hamster.
Amy Adams like unsatisfyingly jerking somebody off and just looking glum about it.
Yeah.
Sorry,
like,
Bex.
like in The Master.
Yeah. But no, she's doing that with purpose. Sorry.
It's a different level of purpose.
Mm.
Well,
No, I was just going to say, I don't know. I'm a bit dubious about it because I don't normally like films that are just like generation-y. You know, like here's 14 generations of people and how shit they are to each other. And that seems like kind of what this is.
It does seem to have that vibe to it. But yeah, I like Ron Howard as a director. You know, he gave us the wonderful Robert Langdon trilogy. So
Yeah.
I mean, there is that.
yeah. I actually got a notification from Netflix today saying a film you may like has been added, and it was the Da Vinci Code, and I was like, oh, you know me, Netflix. You saucy bastards. Jungle Land.
This is Mark Nip.
It is Mark Nip, yeah. Yeah. So have you seen anything about this, Ian?
No, go on.
It is Jack O'Connell and Hunnam play low-skill factory workers. Charlie Hunnam is an ex-bare-knuckle boxer who now trains Jack O'Connell.
Oh, fucking hell. Yep, all right.
In an underground bare-knuckle boxing competition. Things go wrong, and they owe Jonathan Major's character, who looks like he's playing a pimp, and they have to essentially do a battle royale to the death, essentially, or they're going to kill Jack O'Connell's girlfriend, and it's that. But it looks heavy.
It does look very heavy.
It looks very, very heavy, and I am very, very...
Very heavy and very miserable.
Yeah, it does. It looks like nobody has a pleasant ending to that movie. Nobody gets out of there alive, is what I'm saying. So cool. Yeah, I'm very. It does, but also as well, actually, it does look really quite good as well.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And then finally, who's coming to town?
I don't know.
Seriously, we literally just watched the fucking trailer.
Oh, Santa Claus is coming to town.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, Christmas Chronicles 2. Just some fucking real high stakes Christmas shit.
Yeah.
Christmas might be over forever because of that prick from what is it? Hunt for the Wildebeest.
What a bastard, eh?
What a prick.
Nah, it looks really good. It was never not gonna look good though, was it?
It just looks like they've increased the budget like 10 times for this. Like, because the first one, you know, it's shot mostly like in the real world, you know, and it's like, I don't know, Santa does a thing with the E Street Band in a fucking prison cell, you know, it's. But this, I mean, it looks like they might be back, which I'm very much looking forward to. But it's all set in the Santa land, the North Pole. That's what it's called. Fucking hell. Santa land.
That's impressive Ianing. That.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. But no, I mean, it looks like they've chucked some money at it. I think the Christmas Chronicles did well for Netflix in terms of viewership. And it's one of those, it just feels like what the world needs right now kind of efforts, doesn't it, really?
Yeah, it really does. It does look like you say, like, it's just, do you know what? Fuck it. We could do the little bit of joy, and this is just going to fucking slap it all over our faces.
It's the sausages meme.
It is, yeah.
Just give me it.
Yeah.
I don't know the sausages meme.
You must know the sausages meme.
No, I don't think I do.
Ian's going to send you in a second.
I'm fucking going to send it to you right now.
Yeah.
Am I going to regret asking this?
Maybe.
You'll look at it and you'll go, that one. If you don't, then where the fuck you been living?
Grown-up land.
This is grown-up land now. We've become so desensitized, we live in memes.
It is sent.
Oh, I have seen that.
There you go. I'm hosting that.
Yeah.
There you go. Fuck it. Let's do the trial of the Chicago 7.
Oh, the main review's going first.
I was going to say, don't you want to maybe sandwich it between the two that we're going to disagree on?
Oh shit!
I don't think we're all going to disagree. All right, fine. Fuck you then. Little Miss I won't host. I'll do a different one. Which one do you want me to do? Do you want to get pissed off first, or do you want to piss Ian off first?
I'll get pissed off first.
Let me get 40 on pump 9.
Is that a Glock?
Yeah.
Can I hold it?
No, you can't.
I'll pay for your gas if you let me hold it.
It's not a fair trade. Like,
If you let me hold it, man, you're gonna have to stick up another gas station.
man, I can kill you right now.
You don't look like a killer to me.
Queen and Slim is directed by Melina Matsoukas and stars Daniel Kaluuya, Jodie Turner-Smith, a fucking suave as fuck Buckham Woodbine, Chloe Sevigny, for no apparent reason, Flea and Sturgill Simpson. What is the story? Two nameless characters who we find out are Queen and Slim. Even though they're never actually given those names within the film.
The spoiler alert, they're actually given their proper Christian names at the end of the film.
They are indeed,
But
yeah.
let's call it Queen and Slim anyway.
Yep. By the way, the proper Christian names are Angela and Ernest.
Angela seems like that fits. Ernest doesn't.
It does look, he looks like an Ernest.
I don't think
He looks like an
does.
Ernest.
He's a good Christian boy. He's honest.
Ernest.
He is a good Christian boy.
The film starts with them
Except
on
when he's
a...
fucking the shit out of Queen in
That's
that
a
car.
fucking scene, isn't it?
I mean, that's the good Christian thing to do. I think even good Christians could say, do you know what? You go like that.
I think I could have lived my entire life without seeing that much of Daniel Kaluuya's naked ass.
Oh, I don't know, man. He was fucking pumping away. Like,
I'll be honest, not when I was focusing.
that's a good.
There was a guy there.
The only way I can describe that is just a really good knobbing.
I will. If we're gonna just quickly discuss that scene, then if we're not going to discuss it later on in the review,
Okay.
I think that Melina Matsoukas' description of it was fantastic because it did get a little bit of it was quite graphic and what was going on, and she said, no, I wanted to put two black people on screen and I wanted them to fuck.
Is that real? Oh, good. Fair play.
She said you never see two black people in a sex scene in a movie where they are just fucking. And I thought, do you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, you're right. You go at it. If you want to do that in every one of your movies, I am the guy for you.
Do you know what? It's as sex scenes go, it's really fucking well done. They have such great chemistry together throughout this whole fucking film.
Well, we'll get to that. Do you want to do some episode on me?
You can do it.
All right. Okay, interrupted me.
Fuck you. Ian interrupted first with his comment on the fucking.
Let's not say we interrupted you. Let's just say it was you interrupted me.
Ian interrupted you about knobbing.
I did. To be fair, I needed to talk about the good knobbing.
Queen and Slim are on a Tinder date. It is going not terribly, but not terribly well either. They leave the restaurant.
The establishment.
Let's call it, yes. The diner. And are pulled over by a police officer who immediately starts acting like you would have seen that every American cop acts.
Well, yeah.
And an altercation happens where Queen is shot in the leg, and then in an ensuing grapple, Slim shoots the police officer in self-defense, but they go on the run, and the film is then on the run, trying to essentially on the lam, trying to get to Cuba.
Cuba.
Yes.
Across a body of water.
Now, Bex, what?
Across a
Body of water.
Yeah.
Yes. Along the way, they get help from people like Buckham Woodbine and Flea for the Red Chili Peppers.
Hang on, which one's Flea?
He's the one who every time we watch this, I mentioned that it's Flea.
Which one is he?
The white dude who helps him, kind of like. Yeah.
Yes.
That's not Flea.
It is Flea. Yeah. We will get to that.
Wow, he just looks like an old white man.
He does.
I mean,
That's really sad.
Flea is old and he's a white dude.
I know, but he's supposed to be cooler than that. He doesn't look cool.
He's in Queen and Slim.
It's called
slapping the
acting,
bass.
Bex.
What is it? Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, dude.
Fair enough.
He's not Flea in it.
Oh, okay, no, I get that.
Becky, we know your feelings behind this. So we'll go to Ian.
Yeah.
What did you think to Queen and Slim?
I mean, it's interesting that we say that we're going to disagree. I mean, I think that Queen and Slim is a very good film. I enjoyed my time with it quite a lot. Would have enjoyed my time with it more if it was kind of closer to 105 minutes than 135 minutes. But yeah, I thought it was a good Bonnie and Clyde story that was more about the journey than the destination. I thought it was kind of interesting that everybody seems to know who they are all the fucking time, but the police are always 5 steps ahead. Behind, sorry. That did slightly bother me. I think they explain it for the most part, but it was still I don't know. It's just the fact that everywhere they go, everybody just seems to work out who they are straight away, and it took me out of it, to be honest. And I thought the section, the bit that it's intercutting during the sex scene, actually, I get it, but I don't really know what it was trying to say, other than the people who follow these people are taking the wrong message from these people. But at the end of the film, they're still heralded as heroes. I thought it got a little bit muddled there, but I thought Jodie Turner-Smith and Daniel Kaluuya were both great. Bokeem Woodbine, fantastic. The sartorial choices absolutely on point. Even though him basically dressing like a pimp to the funeral at the end did again take me out of it slightly, but yes, I believe that character would dress like that's a fair play.
I think that's his armor, though. Like, I think that's his.
That's a good way of putting it.
But I think that the film, I think the film actually basically kind of explains that to you, that it is.
Yeah, he's treated like shit in the real world, and he's created this essentially like fantasy world.
Yeah.
I really liked it. Would it have been in my top 10 of last year? No. But that's not to say that it's not a good film. I found more fault in it than I think certainly Bex does.
I think in terms of the them you're saying about them being recognised is I
mean, she's a fairly statuesque character.
I think there's a weirdness of distance that I think is hard to understand if you living in the UK, because let's face it, in the UK you could drive to, if you said that somebody, for instance, Ian, you're recording this from Pontypridd, just outside Cardiff, right? But it would take us 3.5, 4 hours to get to you.
Sure.
And that is to get to another country. The distance between getting from Ohio, for instance, to New Orleans, which the film starts in Ohio and goes to New Orleans, is about 14 hours. And then from New Orleans to Florida is another 10 to 12 hours. And I think so effectively you've got all those different states, and the idea was that they would be that the police message hasn't travelled as fast as, for instance, amongst the cultural message, the black community. I think was the idea, was it, that they have become heroes that they didn't even know they were or even want to be at all. And it was it's how these things get completely misinterpreted as being, everything just gets blown up and everything becomes something else in comparison to what it actually is, which is two scared people just trying to get away from a fucking scary situation that in reality A, should never have happened, and B, they should have felt comfortable to be able to go, no, we
This
stay
is the
here.
situation.
Yeah, it's a.
I think what you're saying basically is I think it's a lot easier to get lost and lose
In that side
the
of what is it? Yeah.
authorities in that kind of space. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, like, I just, like I say, I thought the ending where it's like that kind of like mural of their photo is like put up and whatnot. I mean, it's a fantastic image. And I don't know. I think maybe I would have got that more if it wasn't for the lad killing the copper. And
I think with that even like it's not that they've made this kid think that it's okay to kill cops. I think it's made people feel like, fucking hell, why should we take this anymore? It's kind of empowered people. And does he in his youth do something fucking stupid? Yeah, but I don't think that's the enduring message of what happened with them. He's just taken it and gone in the wrong direction with it.
But I mean, that's the thing. That's the enduring message that I took from the film was mixed. It was okay, these guys are being celebrated, but that guy also lost his son basically because he took the wrong message from them.
And I think the whole thing, the idea was from reading about sort of the actual the writing story, how they wanted to create it, was that they wanted to create them two characters. They wanted the central characters to be completely disconnected from
the influence
from everything else that was going on.
Yeah.
So they don't.
Yeah.
So they don't know about. They're second to know everything that's going on, and they have no influence or no input in it whatsoever. They're not trying to be a Bonnie and Clyde character.
They just want to get the fuck out.
That was the idea. That it was just they just wanted to live anything close to being a normal life. But I think that you've got. I can agree with it to certain points. I do agree. I think it's a little bit too long.
See, I find that quite interesting because I don't know what you'd take out of it, because I think part of the reason the film is such a success is because of the asides. It's because of the more intimate, quiet moments just between the two of them when they're just driving along in the car and listening to music and just the stupid shit. The stupid shit is what would be cut out if you wanted to take half an hour out of that, and then that loses the atmosphere of the movie for me.
You take the bits with the boy out. Like I think that they make the message of the film messy, other than, well, life's complicated. It's like, well, yeah, all right then, but you could have taken that out, still have them die in a way that impacts the culture, and for me would make like all the mural stuff at the end more powerful because they inspired nothing but like inspiration and sorrow in people, not I'm a boy who's now going to be a big man killing a copper. I like it just, yeah, I don't know. And also, I'm ever so sorry. One other thing that did bug me, that there's a bit of shorthand in this film, and like an example, like there's a scene where the white cop and the black cop, and the white cop kind of takes the piss out of the black cop and is racist to him, and the black cop's immediate reaction is, okay, I'm gonna find these guys and then I'm gonna look at them and then I'm gonna let them go. And I get it, but I just, it felt quite, I don't know, lazy's not the right word, but very obvious. Like, I don't know. I mean, would it have been more impactful if it was two white cops and the one white cop was racist around the other one? The white cop sees them and lets them go or something. I mean, it would have been more surprising. You know, it's like as soon as he.
It's a film that's pushing to show allyship, though, is it? It's a film that's it's very much through a certain lens, and it has a right to show it through that lens, I think. It
just felt to me like at the start of that scene, that cop had no intention of letting them go. And then just because that one cop says that like one racist remark to him, it's suddenly okay, I'm gonna let them go. You know, because he's the one who says, I just heard something, and the white cop's like, oh, it's just like nature. It's like, that's not nature. I'm gonna go have a look. So he was obviously intent on catching them.
But maybe the other cop's comment makes him realise, fuck, if I turn these guys in now, they aren't getting any justice here.
That one, in all of his experience of policing, it's that one interaction that then makes him think. And I mean, like, this is such a small part of the film, but it's a little bit of just like of storytelling that just disconnected me from it. It was just, I didn't buy it. And there's so much authentic stuff in this film that I do buy. That the moments I don't buy, like the kid killing the cop and the cop letting them go, that it took me out of the film. And I also, I'm sorry, but them being dumb enough to go, like, that one guy's like, oh, it's gonna be a day. Call them back. That's not good enough. Okay, then he said meet us in an hour. The suspect. You call bullshit on that right away.
I think they're just desperate, though, aren't they? I think they're naive and they're trusting because they're not bad people. They're just in a bad situation. I think that's kind of, they're not suspicious of stuff because they're not of that mindset. I think is supposed to be kind of.
I don't know, man, because she's awfully suspicious at the start. I suppose. I'm sorry, Bex. Like, I'll stop it. Just, that's the kind of stuff that just took me out of the film and just didn't quite make it. I wanted to like it more, and the bits that I did like, I thought were bloody brilliant.
Yeah. Sorry, Max. I have to go off and call his work. Sorry, I can just hear him out the other side. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I completely get it. It got me, and
yes, yeah.
You know, if it does, it does. If it doesn't so much, then fine. I know you're not shitting on it and saying it was crap, but I don't know. It was quite interesting as well from our point of view, kind of watching it. We saw it obviously when it came out last year, and then seeing it both prior to and in the aftermath of everything that's gone on with regards to protests and stuff like that. I think it's weird because you kind of look at it and you're like, oh fucking hell, it turned out to be quite a prophetic film.
Yeah.
So it was quite odd because obviously we watched it then, we've not watched it since, and then watching it now after everything that's happened in more so America obviously, but also over here, it was just a bit like, wow, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it does the smart thing of not pointing its finger and wagging at you. You know, it is entertaining. It is a drama thriller at the heart of it. And it's got some serious shit to say. And I mean, I will say as well, I thought the relationship between Queen and her uncle.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm back in again.
Like how, all right, but how that plays out in microcosm. At the end, she's hugging him, like, because she's really cold with him, and then he's really done them a solid, and she's hugging him, and then the realization later on of, like, why she was cold with him. And it, you know, the film has got that kind of life is messy, life is complicated kind of aspect to it, which I really appreciated. I mean, like, Melina Matsoukas, really looking forward to seeing what she does next. I mean, she's got an eye.
It's a fucking good looking movie.
Yeah, it's a spectacular looking film, and I think Kaluuya and Turner Smith are brilliant together. Also, incidentally, blows my mind that Jodie Turner-Smith is with Joshua Jackson.
Yeah,
that is one of the greatest celebrity couples I think I've ever seen.
They've got a baby as well, haven't they?
Yeah,
she's very good in this.
So tall and he's so short.
Yeah, she's very, very good in this, but also, well, I like the fact that the film isn't afraid to essentially go, she's a bit of a dick.
She is a bit of a dick.
she's a bit of a dick, and
We like her for it though.
and he's a little bit too nice, and she's a little bit of a dick. I do like the running thread of every time they get to a new place, he has something to eat.
Oh man, like that meal that he gets early on, where it's like, let me get like a double cheeseburger and a 10-piece nugget box. It's like that's a fucking meal, boy.
Yeah.
Yes, let's go. Boy, why did I say boy? I didn't mean that. Just
Even at the opening bit where she gets a salad and he gets the steak and eggs, and then literally just starts eating her salad.
Yeah.
But as well, you get the good bit about she tries to cut him down a little bit by saying, be honest, do you actually like this place, or is it the only place you can afford to bring me? And he goes, I like this place. And she goes, and he goes, it's black owned. And it puts her in a place very quickly.
Yeah, he's a principled man.
And it's like, right.
Mm.
He ain't afraid to be a bit of a dick to her when he wants to be.
No, I think their chemistry is fan-fucking-tastic in this film. They are so believable as at every stage of their warming to each other and then becoming each other's ride or die. It's believable.
But then you've got things like Daniel Kaluuya, for instance. This, just taking just a few performances, this, Widows, and Get Out. He's brilliant in all three of them. But all three of them are so different in terms of the character that is there. It's really exciting what he's going to do next.
Yeah.
And the next thing we've got him is Judas and the Black Messiah,
which looks very good.
Which looks fantastic. It's and he seems to be very much going for, right, fuck it, I'm going to ride this wave that I'm on at the moment and just really just be clever and smart. But he's doing that thing that that you got a lot of actors from, like the 70s and things did, where literally he crops up and he's in a film. And you don't hear fuck all from him. You never see anything about him.
Yeah.
And this isn't going to be criticism, but for instance, somebody like Michael B. Jordan, very good actor, liking things, but he likes the fact that he's Michael B. Jordan. And that isn't a criticism. Fuck it, why not? Enjoy the fact that you're Michael B. Jordan. You fucking earned it. But there's different ways. There's different sort of ways that people approach things, and he seems to be very much like, nope, I want to go and do a film. I want to fuck off. People leave me alone. I don't want people to know where I live. I don't want people to know anything like that. And I'll come back. I'll do something else, and I'll fuck off again.
Yeah.
And I like that. It's kind of it adds to the whole thing. The De Niro thing. The reason why De Niro hated doing interviews was because his thing was, I'm kind of quite boring. And if you know what I'm like here, I don't want you taking that into Raging Bull or into Deer Hunter or anything like that. I want you to. That's that.
Fair play.
So I had to dip off there to take a quick work phone call. Where are we then? I'm guessing, Becky, you're still definitely not shit.
Yes.
Did it go up in your estimation or down in your estimation?
Up.
Up.
Oh, that ending fucking kills me.
The ending is
horrible.
is very
that
good.
Fucking guy that betrays him. I want to go find him and hurt him.
Is he to you what the manager is in a Star is Born?
Yeah.
Yeah. It still tickles me that guy literally in an interview, when somebody asked him about it, and he went, literally not a day goes by that in the past 6 months where someone hasn't looked at me and I thought, they hate me.
Yeah, that fucking stoner that betrays him, he can get to fuck.
So our audience poll. Ian.
Definitely not shit. Yeah, 100%.
So our audience poll. That's quite mixed. I was quite surprised. Or surprised, not surprised.
Surprised.
Yes. That's been good everything. Definitely not shit, 40%. Touching cloth, 20%, and shit, 40%.
Some miserable bastards voted on that, didn't
Some
they?
fucking miserable bastards, didn't they? Fuck you, our audience.
And I was saying to Ian, I think it's one that either it gets you, or
that's
it's a good film that you enjoy, but it doesn't connect as much.
I think if it gets under your skin, you get on with it, because it's a slow burner.
quite like a slow burner.
And it's a slow-paced film, but I think if it gets you, you're all right. But a slow burner will feel 2.5 hours long. If you're watching it, it can feel, what is it? But if you're not engaged with it, it will be.
Are we off onto one that's definitely not a slow burner?
What Perfect Storm?
No, but you're going on to the.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's do that next. Let's say our big our feature review for the end of the podcast, or towards the end of the podcast.
Check this out. I don't know. All right. So these are black Jews. All right. They're stranded in the middle of Ethiopia. It's deep.
Stranded?
Yeah. Look at. They got nothing. They don't got cars. They don't got. And I'm watching this, and I'm like, what the are these guys wearing? Look, it's on the Torah there. It's everywhere, right? Where do these guys get precious black opals? That's what that is.
A black opal?
I do my research. These guys live near the Whale mines, which primarily is red opals, which aren't worth okay?
Okay.
But these you can't get your hands on these things, you understand?
Really?
So look, I say to myself, how do I get a hold of these guys? And I managed to track these guys down. I buy one from them.
Holy
That is, what is that? That's right there. That's the rock. That's the rock. That's the stone. I got it.
Look how this is winking.
It took me 17 months to get this thing,
Holy
okay?
snap.
Just look at this. Hang on for a second. Go through my look. Be careful. That's my best look. All right? I want you to look at it. You really get right to it.
Oh, wow.
That's history right there. You understand?
How many carats is this?
What? 4,000 or 5,000 carats? $3,000 a carat? I'm not.
Uncut Gems is a Josh and Benny Safdie. I am saying that right, aren't I?
Mm-hmm.
Good. What? I have form for saying these things wrong.
You do indeed, yes. That says Adam Sandler.
And it stars the Sandman, Lakeith Stanfield. Is that Dina Menzel?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Adele Dazeem herself.
Fucking hell.
How did you not know that?
What?
She didn't sing Let It Go.
Yeah, she didn't sing Let It Go.
But how do you not know what she looks like?
I know what John Travolta looks like.
It's not quite the same thing.
I don't think it's that far off.
Poor Adele Dazeem.
Well, I'm not saying she looks like John Travolta.
That's what it sounded like.
Who else does that have in it?
Wow.
What? Julia Fox. A nominative determinism there.
Is she the one with the giant ass?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. It's a star for that. Sorry, it is.
Nah.
Yeah. What is the story of Uncut Gems? The Sandman plays a Jewish gambling-addicted jewelry store owner in New York City, I believe. Yeah, I'm right in that. I haven't invented the New York City aspect of it. And he gets hold of a rare black opal that he's managed to get sent to him from Ethiopia, from Jewish Ethiopian miners in a salmon. This is fucking bonkers, this. And the whole story revolves around essentially him getting this black opal to auction, and also his horrible gambling problems that he has. It's quite hard to explain the story because, like you did say there, Becky, it is not a slow burner. It's purposely frenetic. Ian, you were a big fan of it. You did watch it just the once, didn't you, before? And I believe it was on Boxing Day or Christmas Eve?
Boxing Day.
Boxing Day, yes. I think it was either one of those two. Bex, what did you think of Uncut Gems?
Right, I don't want to be ungenerous towards it because I'm not going to sit here and say that it's a crap film because it's absolutely not. It is a good film. It didn't click with me.
Fair enough.
It felt like the cinema equivalent of being on a rickety roller coaster. It was too chaotic for me, and there wasn't enough story to back the chaos up. It just felt like chaos.
That's funny because it seems to be that people are like, Uncut Gems was like a 2-hour anxiety dream. I loved it, or Uncut Gems was a 2-hour anxiety dream, I didn't get on with it.
Yeah, and I think that's the camp that I'm in. I'm not
enough.
saying it was badly acted or badly made or anything along those lines. It was just like it came out the other end of it and it was like, oof, right, fucking hell. Because it was relentless.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Which, do you know what? Like you say, if that gets you and you get caught up in the adrenaline of that pace, then you're gonna enjoy it. But it just wasn't for me.
Fair enough. Ian, how did you get on it with it second time round?
And what the fuck was with those bejeweled Furbies?
Oh, it was brilliant.
No, with the moving eyes. No.
It's quite amusing.
No, it was not.
They were like a real thing.
They were horrendous.
Yeah, they were a real thing. Ludacris has got one. I'm not even joking on that. Ludacris has one.
None of the jewellery was nice.
It's not supposed to be. That's the whole point. Ian, how did you get on with it on our second watch?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because Uncut Gems already kind of seems to have really entered the film Twitter and film social media conscious with like the amount of memes that like are from it, and there's so many fucking great moments in this fucking film for me. I love it. I will say I don't think I'm going to be able to watch it like before I go to bed again in the future. Like horror films don't tend to do like things to me, but I was saying before we started recording the show, I had trouble going to sleep last night, and I think part of it was the fat burning pills I'd taken during the day, which I am now 100% stopping. Part of it was the vodka martini I had, and part of it was Uncut Gems. I was just very fucking wired.
That does sound a little bit like a cocktail that Howard Ratner would have himself.
Yeah, and it would work. Sandler is fucking incredible. Like the background workings out that his character is doing during these scenes, and just the sheer fucking adrenaline and full force. Like that moment where he's with Kevin Garnett and like he's selling him the opal, and then he's talking to him about how like he's a winner and he's gonna win, and then he just becomes convinced and lays that bet on. And it's like, mate, what are you doing? Just slow down. Just stop. You're up. You can, like that Arno guy, like you're going to be able to pay him off. Just stop. And then the way that it builds and builds at the end, where it almost feels like it's never in doubt that his bet is going to pay off. And it's just like, what is going to happen? Like, what is going to happen? Arno seems like he's actually into it, and it is just like he's getting it like high on the buzz himself. The other guy is just fucking stewing, and then you got Julia Fox in the casino. Like, with it's like, is that fucking high roller guy gonna do something, or is she gonna get caught?
And then the fake out that you get there is brilliant.
Sorry,
the fake out that you get there is fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. And then just the payoff, like he opens the door, and then the guy just shoots him, and like and that's it. I mean, it's fucking masterful stuff. But I think it's really entertaining at the same time. Like the fucking weird thing that Adam Sandler does in that apartment where he hides in the cupboard and then just starts texting her. It's like
I have an issue with that though.
Go on then.
Turn your fucking clickers off.
Yeah, 100%.
Turn your fucking clickers off. Right? Because in reality, she's there and she just goes, I can hear some fucking clickers. Get out the fucking thing, you prick.
Yeah.
Turn your it's a little button on the side. Just turn your fucking clickers off. Yeah, I'm very much in the in-between. Okay. In the fact that it worked for me and I liked it. I do think in a similar way to Ian, where you were saying that that you preferred Queensland if it was 105 minutes. I think you could have done a 115-minute version of this movie, cut 20 minutes out of it, and had a pacier, better movie. And I think there's a specific bit you can cut out.
Go on.
The meal he goes at with his family.
Oh God, yeah.
You can cut that whole bit out because it adds. All it adds there is that Eric Bogosian is part of his family.
Yeah.
But it's too long, and for me, I was up on it. And I was like, fucking hell, yes, all right, I'm enjoying this vibe, I'm enjoying this energy. And then that happened, and that came, and I just went, right, I'm getting a little bit, I'm losing the buzz, I want to come back up again.
Because I mean, like, I think the school play, it kind of like the energy goes down as well. But if you were to say, if you'd said that you'd guess that by the end of the school play scene, Idina Menzel would be getting Adam Sandler out of the trunk and he's in there like stark naked, you'd be a liar. There's no way you'd ever guess that was going to happen. Whereas there's no big like revelation with that sequence. Yeah, I get it. It's probably 10 minutes you can cut.
I quite enjoyed what is it, but also as well, I'm not sure how I think there's like you said, there's a chaoticness to it. So you don't really get an element of time. Plus, there's a little bit where I was like, right. So who the fuck is Eric Bogosian? Is he a bookmaker? Is he somebody who's just borrowed money off within the family? But why has he got essentially like henchmen working for him? I could have with a little bit more of that and a little bit less of Adam Sandler in his jewelry shop shouting at people.
Do you know one bit I did really genuinely love about the film though? And if you cut the dinner at the family scene, it would be gone.
What?
Right. So he was a deeply unsympathetic, unlikable character because he was just a bit of a cunt.
Oh, he's a piece of shit, yeah.
Yeah.
The bit where he's saying to Idina Menzel about, let's give it another go. You look really beautiful in that dress. And she's just like, I fucking hate you. You are the most annoying person I have ever met, and I wish I never had to see you ever again. Fucking great.
The mad thing is, within the movie, you get the bit where you've got the big end bit where the bets come off, and like you were saying, Ian, you've got what's his Arno. His character, I say, he even seems to be backing at it, but then his mate is like, nah, fuck this, I am sick of this prick, and just shoots him in the head. I was sort of watching it going, yeah, I've just spent 2 hours with this thing, and yeah, you were right to shoot him in the fucking face.
After that all sort of happened and he was just letting him out, I turned around to you and just said, they're going to fucking kill him anyway, aren't they?
Yeah.
And then they shot him in the head, and it was like, what the fuck was the point then in sitting through all of this? They just fucking shot him anyway.
Because Julia Fox gets all the sick bank.
Yeah, I mean, she's made off like a bandit.
And there's an argument to suggest that she might be one of the only characters that isn't a complete fucking dick in it.
Well, I mean, she's banging a married man, so she's not completely...
That's a fair comment, yeah. That's a fair comment.
With 2 children, so she's not that great.
3 children, Becky.
3 children. 3?
Yeah, he's got 2 boys and a girl.
But it's just like, I don't know, there are so many like little moments, like the fucking bit where the guy who works for him's like chewing him out, and he's just like cutting up the fish, and the guy's like, you're losing it, you're cutting up fish, and then Adam Sandler just looks up at him and he's just like, holy shit, I'm gonna come. And just the way he obviously hasn't been listening to a fucking word the guy was saying. Yeah. And it's so cutting, and he's such a prick. But that's the thing. It's like he's a prick, but you do kind of get the buzz of being around him because he's fucking unpredictable, and not in a dangerous way, just in a when he gets excited, it's like the energy that he kind of generates when he's pumped.
So he's like a kid with ADHD.
He is, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
I like the fact that the film never at any point acknowledges that the guy is a fucking degenerate gambler.
Yeah, I know, because I mean, it's just following him for a couple of hours, and it's like, I get it. Like, he is a fucking dickhead, but at the same time, there are moments that I find him very entertaining.
For me, at no point do I ever warm to him or even vaguely like him in any way at all. So when he gets shot in the face,
boom.
I was kind of like going, do you know what? I'm on that guy's side, but I enjoyed watching. I enjoyed essentially everything crumbling down upon him, and going, everything that you're doing right now, I'm guessing that you fucking deserve, mate.
That's way harsh time.
But he does seem to deserve it. You know, Kevin Durant gives him the ring to sort of say, no, you take this while I take this for what is it?
Yeah, here's
and then
my
literally
security.
the first thing he does is pawn it.
Fucking dickhead.
Yeah, it's a very interesting film. It's a really fucking good film as well. I really liked it. It's definitely got nods in terms of the flow of it and a style of it to something like Mean Streets. You can see an influence from that. Without question, I'd say on that. And it was interesting that Scorsese was a producer on it, wasn't he?
Yeah, executive producer.
Yeah. So there's definitely a vibe of that beyond just a New York setting that's there. So yeah, it's definitely a thing. I do think it's an odd one because it went from being, you know, on the eve of the Academy Awards, it had won a lot of awards at other ceremonies, and it had been hotly tipped that what is it, and then it just got completely ignored.
It's quite unseemly, isn't it, for the Oscars to give it awards?
It would have been something if Sandler was getting heat, but in the cold light of day, it is a little bit like, really, for this film, you think the Oscars are gonna go for him? You know, I get it.
I don't.
No, I do.
I don't. I think it's a really strange one. I think it's a. I don't get why it was so snubbed.
It's not an Oscars-y type film.
But
I can understand why it got awards elsewhere, but it was never going to get Oscars.
But is Joker an Oscars-y film?
Yeah.
I think it is.
More so than this. It's not crass, is it, Joker? It's not got someone in it going, I'm gonna come over a fucking black opal.
I would say that's fine though. You know, it's a.
Well, I think that maybe says more about you than about the Oscars.
It's a big moment for him.
I mean,
the thing is, he seems like he'd be a fun guy to hang out with.
God no, he'd be fucking exhausted.
But like if you were his friend, once you were his friend, I think he'd be all right, a fun guy to hang out with. But if a friend brought him out on a night out, you would either, by the end of the night, have punched him, or by the end of the night, you would be his friend. It'd be one or the other. There'd be no middle ground. Also, for the star it got for Julia Fox's Beauty, it lost it for having the fucking Weekend in, because I fucking despise The Weekend.
Her weirdly disproportionate ass was very... do you know what? Like Ian says that certain things took him out of Queen and Slim. Her weirdly disproportionate ass took me out of this as well.
Oh, it brought me in a way where it was almost fucking 3D, Bex, but you know.
I said I watched that in 3D.
Weirdly huge asses on skinny girls just don't do it for me, I'm afraid. It's not my thing.
I just think we need to move on from that, and I think that's something. Oh,
it's definitely not shit. And the thing is, I will very much watch this again. I did love the fake out though, with the weird guy, the weird
the scraggly head fucker.
Yeah, the suave, the fucking the copter. What is it?
Sorry, I know.
In Vegas, where he's walking out and you're thinking, oh, the motherfuckers, he works for them, doesn't he? And then he goes over to the limo, gives her the money. It's like, oh.
See, he seems sweet. He seems quite nice. He's the likable character in this film. He's the one. There we go.
It's weird, yeah. What is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of the
It's-
rest of them are likable.
No, the one other person who is likable is the scraggly haired dude who pops up a couple of times, and it's only because he wants to get a refund because Howard sold him a fake Rolex.
No, Howard sort of one of Lakeith Stanfield's fake Rolexes.
But I love that though, because he pops up a few times. It's like, what the fuck is going on with this guy? He's nobody.
Yeah, but the other guy who is all right is the old guy that he's got working for him, who is always there.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're like the back of the shop.
Yeah.
Like, bigger dude. Yeah.
It's definitely not shit.
Yeah.
Becky.
We came up with a rating, didn't we, for ones that you were like, I know it's not shit, but I hated it.
You
And I can't-
hated it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I will never watch this again.
Doesn't mean to say you have to hate it though. Jesus.
I just, none of the characters are likable. The pacing of it was just, it just didn't mesh up.
I like films with completely a cast that is bereft of likable characters.
Yeah, see, I have to like at least one.
I mean, I like many of them.
I mean, it's got Kevin Garnett saying like, "Why would you show it to me if I can't have it?" Which is a good point. But his response to that is, "I just got excited." I just wanted to show you something cool. I'm sorry.
Oh, I get the reference now. Someone tweeted that alongside something about cinema trailers. Why would you show me if I can't have it? Yeah, now I get it.
So you're where are you?
It's definitely not shit.
There you
but
go.
I don't like it. So, but we came up with a specific thing for that, and I can't remember what it was.
I can't remember what it was either.
Hmm.
We need to start writing these things down.
We need a little note.
I'm definitely not shit. Our audience poll, definitely not shit, 82%, touching cloth 6%, and shit 12%.
Are you a craft beer junkie?
Do you eagerly anticipate the freshest IPA release from your local craft brewer?
Do you check in every beer you've ever had on Untapped?
Do you know the difference between a Belgian triple and a Berliner Weisse?
Then do we have a podcast for you? What's Untapped podcast gives you beer reviews, interviews with brewers, behind the scenes access to beer festivals, games, and more. Whether you're a craft beer junkie or new to the world of craft brewing, What's Untapped podcast is something for you.
Check us out online, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and now we are podsyndicate.com. And as always, keep drinking, you dum-dums.
You like the 1980s, don't you? Of course you do. We all do. But have you ever wondered why that decade was the way it was? Have you ever wished there was somewhere you could go to get past the usual day-glow sentimentality? To try and understand 1980s pop culture in a more social, political and historical context? Because if so, it sounds to me like you're ready to go beyond the aesthetics, beyond the nostalgia. Welcome to Beyond the Neon. Beyond the Neon is the podcast that dares to pull over the Testarossa, eject the Wham cassette and take off the Wayfarers. If you're looking for retro reviews of Back to the Future, The Goonies or John Hughes movies, you will not find that here. If you're looking for top 10 lists of A-Team episodes, Nintendo games or Stranger Things references, you will not find that here. If you're looking for long boring introductions, Squarespace ads or Patreon begging, you will not find that here. Because Beyond the Neon, we do things a little differently. In each documentary-style episode, I look at one area of 1980s popular culture and break it right down. And each episode features academic insight, guest contributions and interviews, as well as clips plumbed from the depths of the 1980s cultural void. Well, YouTube, mainly YouTube, to help illustrate the wonderful, perplexing, terrifying, joyous and utterly thrilling world of 1980s pop culture. Beyond the Neon might not be as regular as other 1980s podcasts, but that's because Beyond the Neon isn't like other 1980s podcasts. Subscribe to the show today and check out all past episodes by visiting beyondtheneon.co.uk.
Ian, what have you been watching?
Okay, so I watched Alien again because I'm OCD and I need to watch all the Aliens films if we're covering one Alien film. So I rewatched Alien. Alien's great. Everybody knows that. I'll spend my time talking about wrapping up LFF coverage. So I've got 3 that I talked about One Man in His Shoes last week, didn't I? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so Nomadland, which is very, very hotly tipped for Oscars, comes out in UK cinemas, well, hopefully in January. And this is Frances McDormand starring as a woman living a kind of a nomadic existence. The film sees her starting kind of like a seasonal job at an Amazon packing place. Christmas and New Year are over. She gets let go, not in a disappointing way. She knew it was going to happen. She kind of goes from place to place, basically. And it covers about a year of her existence. David Strathairn plays a fellow nomad who kind of comes in and out of her life at various points. First half of the film is almost like a documentary, basically, with Frances McDormand's character Fern interacting with real life, like, nomad people. And, she's obviously kind of like getting involved in kind of like the jobs they're doing and the kind of like the parties they have and whatnot. And then the second half is basically, it kind of gets a bit more into the story as she tries to decide what she wants to do with the rest of her life and whether or not it involves David Strathairn. So yeah, really interesting bit of work, this. It's interesting because Frances McDormand's getting really kind of like heavily tipped for Best Actress, and I do wonder if in a year where there was more competition, whether that would necessarily be the case. I think she's very good, but like I say, the film is such like a documentary that the characters I remember in it are more the characters around her rather than her herself. She's a very solid guiding presence through the film, and the work that she does do is really, really good. But I wasn't necessarily like, fucking hell, that's a performance. I mean, a lot of people don't like Three Billboards. I really like Three Billboards, and I think she slaps the shit out of that film.
A lot of people don't like Three Billboards because of one particular character and the way that character is treated.
Yeah,
is what I would argue there. My counter argument to that would be, it's a movie.
It's a representation of the world.
Yeah, you can't.
This is what the world should be.
That's like saying you don't like Uncut Gems because Adam Sandler's a prick in it.
Don't like any films about Hitler because Hitler's a bad man.
Not that many films about Hitler, actually.
No.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Ian, carry on. It's just that particular thing with Three Billboards, and I like Three Billboards. I didn't love it, but I really liked it. But that particular one, it always kind of sat wrong with me. It's like it's the whole thing of not everybody has to have a redemptive arc.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's the thing of, I don't like that film because it made me feel something that I don't like, and I don't like the film for it. So because the film manages to make you feel sympathy for a character that you should not feel any sympathy for because of certain reasons, that's the film doing what it's supposed to do. It's elicit that reaction, because you don't like that reaction is different to you not liking the film.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
the
like,
film succeeded in making you react.
It's basically the thing that all fucking furries go through. They have it and they go, oh, I like this and I can cope with liking this. What?
What was that? I like this and what?
I can cope with liking this. Oh. They don't have the shame for it. It's the same thing as that. I'm just using it for what our audience will understand.
You think we have a larger furry audience?
Not particularly furries. There might be various things that they like.
Various kinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it in reasons that I think they will understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, waveform's going mental there. Apologies. Yeah. So I don't know. In Nomadland, it's an interesting one. I think it's full of heart. And I don't know, like I say, the second half, when it actually gets a bit more plotty, I slightly lost my way with it. And I think that there are decisions that are made through the film where I just don't get that, and maybe I'm assuming you guys will probably see it when it's got like a wider release and we're like closer to awards season time, so we'll probably talk about it then. But it's I think it's a really, really, really good bit of work, and it's entertaining as well. It's not it's not saying corporate America fucking sucks, the life should be on the road. It's not about that. The film obviously has the participation of Amazon, letting them film actually in an Amazon place, and so the message of the film isn't that, which I found actually kind of refreshing. I don't know, it's a story about connection, and I mean it worked for me mostly. So that's Nomadland. It's very good. Cool. So Brandon Cronenberg's new one, Possessor. I went straight from Nomadland to Possessor, so that was something. So this is Andrea Riseborough starring as a kind of essentially a corporate assassin. So essentially she works for a company where they have targets, and to get them, they essentially kidnap people and essentially transplant Andrea Riseborough's consciousness into them, and then get them to do the killings. Then they kill themselves, so then it just looks like this person went mad, killed this person, then killed themselves. Her latest target is Sean Bean. I
mean, you just have to wait for him to die anyway, don't you?
Well, yeah, it's like if Sean Bean's around, he's going to die at some point, isn't he? She takes over the body of Christopher Abbott, who plays Sean Bean's daughter's boyfriend. But the body kind of starts rejecting Andrea Riseborough, basically. It's basically a Black Mirror episode with a funny mask. And if that sounds good to you, then that's great. I thought it was all right, but it did. I don't know. It's interesting because Brandon Cronenberg with Antiviral, that film is got a really, really fucking high concept, and it's kind of like intellectually interesting, if not that great a film. Possessor, it does kind of just feel like, right, okay, get to the fucking monkey, and when you get to the monkey's a bit shit. It really it ramps up the craziness a couple of times, but one is a sex scene between Christopher Abbott and Tuppence Middleton, where it's, quite frankly, I'm just thinking like Brandon Cronenberg really wants to see Tuppence Middleton naked, and then wants the flash between Chris Abbott fucking her and Andrea Riseborough fucking her. Great, you do you.
So it feels a little bit like you're enjoying this too much, like you're enjoying this too much, the filmmaker enjoying this too much.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a lot of Middleton's Tuppence going on here, and it went on for so long, and it was just like, mate, you made your point 2 minutes ago, you are just jerking off now.
Yeah. I'm bored of seeing boobs theory.
A little bit, to be honest.
How about some story?
To be honest, a little bit. And the lead image of the film, which is this like kind of melty Andrea Riseborough face,
yeah,
it is quite shocking at one point, but there is a scene that happens shortly after where someone has got that on in broad daylight, and it looks fucking ridiculous.
Does it look like somebody has stretched some pizza face over their face and making a tonguing box?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. And I don't know. I kind of laughed, which isn't obviously not what it's meant to do. And then the film just kind of slightly seems to peter out. There's kind of a shocking kill that is a little bit Cronenberg just going like, oh, I'm getting a rise out of you, aren't I? And I just felt a bit childish.
Can I ask a question? Because I've not seen it yet. We've not had with X. We've not seen this yet. But I'm actually I'm very intrigued by it.
And I really like Black Mirror, so I should be fine.
Quite. When Ian messaged me and said it's like a Black Mirror episode, my response was, "What shit?"
Yeah.
So yeah, right. But are we in the little phase at the moment where essentially we're getting a lot of high concept B movies and genre picks, but they're getting judged in a different level to how. So, for instance, you have things like Videodrome, for instance.
Yeah.
Is a very, I think, is a good one to pick out to compare this to. Yeah. Not in terms of, I don't know about content or anything like that, but I'm just talking about what it's trying to do.
Yeah.
And where it sits there. And it just seems a little bit like we're forgetting that genre picks are genre picks. And so I'm saying it has it got that vibe, because that does seem to happen a little bit where people are trying to ascribe more prestige to the movies.
No, I think the film knows what it is. And sorry, I was just cleaning up a little bit and it made more noise than I was intending on. Sorry. It knows what it is, and it is a genre film. But I think it thinks it's being more provocative and groundbreaking than it actually is.
Right.
Like I say, there's a moment towards the end where I was just like, mate, just fucking grow up. Like, what was the point of that? So yeah, it was the film I was least fond of out of LFF, but I don't think it was shit. If you're so inclined, definitely give it a watch, but maybe just temper your expectations.
I'm going into it going with the thing of I'm interested in it. I don't know whether I'm expecting it to be. If I come out of it and go, that was interesting, 7 out of 10, I'll be very happy.
Yeah. I think I gave it either a 6 or a 7 out of 10. So yeah, and that's fine. It doesn't necessarily outstay its welcome as well. I think it's about 95 minutes. So you can
blink and you miss it.
Yeah.
Are we moving on to Rocks Not Cocks?
Oh, we're moving on to Rocks Not Cocks. Oh yeah. So my last film of LFF is Francis Lee's Portrait of a Winslet on Ronan. And Winslet does get on Ronan. Ronan gets on Winslet. And it's kind of the only interesting thing that happens. So this is Francis Lee's new film, which closed LFF. He wrote and directed God's Own Country, which got a lot of praise a couple years back. I haven't seen it yet. So Ammonite. So yeah. So this is the story of Mary Eining, I think her name is pronounced as, who was actually quite renowned geologist, essentially, who discovered Ichthyosaurus, which is on display in the British Museum. Saoirse Ronan plays a wife of a kind of tough kind of guy. She's very depressed, seemingly after an aborted child, and she. Her husband basically hires Kate Winslet to kind of look after her in a way. It's basically Portrait of a Lady on Fire is the setup, except it's a husband, not a mum, and it's Rocks, not a portrait. And this film obviously was in the throes of production and whatnot before Portrait of a Lady on Fire, and I'm not for 1 minute saying that one was cribbing from the other or whatever, but Francis Lee must be fucking fuming that someone else did the kind of thing he was trying to do and did it so much fucking better. Ammonite is really boring.
The thing is, if based on every description I've read of it and every trailer I've seen of it, my kind of reaction was, that looks really fucking boring.
Well, that's it. Like, when we were sort of talking about doing the LFF stuff, and obviously Ammonite was on there, there was no part of me that was like, oh, yeah, we'll have to watch Ammonite. If we're off work, let's watch Ammonite, because the trailer just makes it look like you're saying, like a slightly crappier version of Portrait of a Lady on Fire, which is obviously very well done, but beat them to it.
Yeah, and I mean, but the thing is, I mean, Kate Winslet and Saoirse Ronan are almost worth the price of admission. Winslet basically has no dialogue, and it's all in the not saying anything acting, but she's very good. Saoirse Ronan's really good as well. The problem is they don't have any chemistry together, and I don't blame them. Through the film, there is fuck all reason why these two get together other than they're lonely, they have a bit of a kiss, and then suddenly they are fucking the living shit out of each other. But it's not like there's like a passion thing there either. It's almost like it's just something to do. And but like I say, I don't blame them because they're both good. It just, there's not enough there.
Is there a lot of like just like looking at each other and oh, I wish we could say this but we can't? Because I've seen God's Own Country and it's fine.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I say yeah, and then thinking about it, not really. Like, so
because there's a lot of that in God's Own Country.
Okay, yeah, I mean, okay, so slight spoilers for Ammonite, like slight. You know, I mean, the film would sell better if it was called Kate Winslet Muff Diver, you know. So it's like that's basically as big a spoiler as you're going to get, really. But basically, Saoirse Ronan's character, like it seems to get like a fever or something and collapses at Kate Winslet's door. And a doctor who seems to be quite fond of Kate Winslet is like, right, okay, just keep her here, you know, look after her, blah, blah, blah. So they don't kiss for 70 minutes, right? And this film's just under 2 hours long. So that first hour and 10 minutes is them being standoffish with each other, Saoirse Ronan fainting, Kate Winslet nursing her back to health, and then them basically looking at each other almost like, well, we may as well then. You know, like there's you don't really get the connection. Like Kate Winslet's showing her these rocks and whatnot, and it's just like, yeah, okay. I mean, in a way, I suppose that's kind of interesting. Like that, like, but and I will say as well, this film is based on 3 real life famous figures of geology. You wouldn't know it from this film. It's like if I was like the members of their family, I'd probably be quite insulted, to be honest. But anyway, and yeah, it just, I don't know. It felt like an excuse to get 2 prestige actresses to les it up and get awards. And I know that's obviously not what they're saying the film is, but it's all really nice sound design, depressing as shit cinematography, shagging, but only a couple of actually one major scene which borders on like softcore porn, and then an ending which is supposed to be emotional catharsis. Thy name is Ammonite, and it's a proper just shrug. It is a real shrug. Like the end image of this film is supposed to be like, oh, that's beautiful. Oh, it's painterly. And all I'm thinking is, I don't get that at all. I do not get what you are trying to sell at all. And I just watched this entire fucking film. And the thing is, I'm not alone.
It got very meek, didn't it?
Yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised to read some people go Francis Lee's a master storyteller, but a lot of people say, yeah, Ammonite left me cold. Like, the performances are great, but nah.
I can't comment until I've seen it, but it does look like one of those films where you will get some people watching it going, oh, it's fantastic, it's poetic, it's just this unrequited love, and then you'll get people going, or is it that?
No, I mean, the thing is, if Portrait of a Lady on Fire didn't exist, I think people would have more time for it. I would probably have more time for it. I have seen Ammonite's better looking cousin, and its
Yeah.
name is Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
I mean,
That's it.
that's it. You're not, for me, for instance, I'm looking at it thinking, I will watch it, but will I? Or will I just watch Portrait of a Lady on Fire again because it's a better looking, it looks like a better looking film, and
God, this looks just so grey.
and if I'm going to watch that story, I'll be honest, I'd prefer to watch with two French ladies.
Yeah, it's a proper fucking obligation watch, but I don't think the word on it around the world is going to be kind enough for it to actually be getting any proper Oscar contention. In a normal year, you would not be hearing fucking anything about Ammonite. You would not be hearing anything about it. But it just so happens to start two very, very good actresses acting very well, except for when they're together.
I mean, the thing is, you say it's well performed. I'm assuming that these characters are supposed to have chemistry. If they don't, then it's not well performed.
The thing is, I think it's in the writing. There's not enough there to convince me that like they're having this great love. Like if it was lust, I could maybe get it. I could, but the ending of this film is pleading with you to be convinced that this is one of the great loves of all time. It's fun.
Those kind of movies irk the fuck out of me.
Like fucking Carol.
Let's not talk. We're not talking about Carol.
It wants you. The ending of Ammonite wants you to cry so fucking much. And nah. It's.
Do they die?
No. I can tell you if you want.
Yeah, go for it. I'm not going to watch it.
All right. So basically, right.
You can take your headphones out if you want to watch it.
I don't know if I can be bothered.
No, that's fine. Go on.
Yeah. So basically, Saoirse Ronan is sent back to London with her husband, leaves Kate Winslet by herself. Kate Winslet's living with her mum. Her mum's dies, and then she's by herself. Saoirse Ronan essentially says, why don't you visit me in London and see your Ichthyosaurus in the British Museum? So Kate Winslet goes to London, and then Saoirse Ronan basically surprises her, saying, surprise, you're going to be my concubine. Yes, I'm living with my husband, but I've got a room for you, and we can be together. And Kate Winslet basically goes, well, I don't know about that. Are you like my...
she's not doing a regional accent, is she?
It's not quite that, but it's not far off.
It's not far off that. Actually, it's not far off that.
I absolutely will not watch it then. Carry on.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, you got me like one of your things in your glass cabinet, just something to fucking stare at. And Saoirse Ronan's like, that's not what I intended at all. And it's like Kate Winslet's like, well, I'm sorry, but no, I'm going to go to the British Museum, blah blah blah. And then she goes to the British Museum and she sees her Ichthyosaurus. And then, like, beyond that, the other side, who comes walking along? Saoirse Ronan. And then they look at each other. And then the last image of the film is the Ichthyosaurus display in the centre. One on the left, one on the right, just staring at each other. And then it fades to black.
That sounds shit.
And it is...
It sounds like something that people would take the piss out of at the end of what was that movie? Friends with Benefits, or what is it movie?
It's not far from Tropic Thunder, the fake trailers at the start.
Yeah.
And you got, what was it, Tobey Maguire and Robert Downey Jr. in Devil's Alley.
Yeah.
It's not far off.
Oh, Ian, you've very much the opposite of sold that film for me. I want a refund.
Film Bastards convince you not to watch films for 8 years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it getting any traction. No one is going to be saying, wasn't Kate Winslet's eating out of Saoirse Ronan's muff like exquisite? And also, I've got to say as well, just got to touch on it, the age gap is fucking weird. If that was a man and a woman, this film would be getting cancelled so fucking quickly.
You can't use the same arguments that we use for Carol against a different film.
I mean, it's just I believe in their love.
There is no love in that whatsoever.
To be fair, they're properly like Kate Winslet is not a bad looking woman still. She's a bit more mature than Saoirse, but she's not like old and unglamorous. But they've made her look really fucking dowdy in this, haven't they?
Right, me babber. No, she doesn't say that, but it's not far off. All right, me babber. Hello, darling. You fancy a cuddle?
Ew, that's gross.
Yeah, it's deeply, deeply, deeply underwhelming. Ammonite.
Am I missing something? Have they changed some of the details?
I mean,
Of what?
Dramatised it, obviously.
Well, I'm looking at the because they're based on real people.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm looking at the Mary Anning's date of birth, and she's the one that Kate Winslet plays, isn't she?
Yeah, right.
Mary Anning. All upset. Just indulge me a second.
Mm-hmm.
D.O.B. Is 21st of May 1799. Right? Saoirse Ronan plays Charlotte Murchison.
Yep.
Right? Whose date of birth appears to be 1788.
So she was older.
So she was older.
Sure.
But is she supposed to be older in the film?
No. This like the thing is, the film, like I say, it doesn't hold any regard to real life stuff whatsoever.
Wait, but no, right? Oh, whoa! Film I haven't seen that I'm now incredibly pissed off about. So hang on a minute, right? You make a film, right, about a fairly important woman in science in a time when there were very few women in science.
Yeah.
Right. You then decide to create a love story around it and ignore all of her scientific achievements, right?
Basically, yes.
And you decide to make a love story around it, right? You then pick somebody that she knew, right? And create a love story with that person. Fine. But then you don't make that person that much younger than her when she's actually 11 years older than her.
Yeah, you're basically taking this important scientist lady, taking away all of her scientific achievements, and then turning her into essentially like
a shrew,
a cradle robber.
Yeah.
This is the thing. There's not even like a title card at the end that explains her achievements or anything like that. It just ends.
What?
This is the thing, and it's like I found out all of this afterwards. So I was talking on Twitter afterwards with the host of the fantastically named Nolan Me, Nolan You podcast, Emily Murray, who was talking about all this stuff, and it made me like the film less than I did watching it because of all this. Like, because apparently Charlotte actually became quite renowned in her way as well, but you wouldn't know that watching this film at all.
I am perplexed that this got fucking made then, if that's what they've done in these times, and that Jesus Christ, because Kate Winslet has a habit of shoehorning herself into these things, and then in a couple of years' time she'll fucking slag it off and say, well, actually, in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have done that. So that's why I'm doing this movie to celebrate women of science. And then in 2 years' time, you'll find out that it'll be something else.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, congratulations to Saoirse Ronan, because I think she's found the first role that she's going to be admitting regret for 5 years down the line.
Fuck you, Ammonite.
Yeah, it's that Devil's Alley thing from Tropic Thunder. That's really caught me now. It's
if you from what I understand from Ian, if you want to watch the only bit you want to watch of Ammonite, just go to Pornhub and Google Ammonite and you'll find it. I guarantee you.
Yeah, and I mean, like you have Kate Winslet breasts. You don't have Saoirse Ronan breasts. I know there is a listener of this podcast who was interested and WhatsApped me asking about that. You know who you are. And
it wasn't me.
I'm so shocked it wasn't.
It wasn't me.
No, it
I
actually
actually responded to said person saying, "What's the name?" Saying, "Whoa, who do you think you are? Me?"
But no, I mean it's got Kate Winslet enjoying Saoirse Ronan and Saoirse Ronan enjoying a great deal. So yeah, that's Ammonite.
Yeah, I don't need to see old Kate Winslet's vinegar strokes, to be honest.
No.
Bex, I need to get the charger for the laptop, so can you start doing what we've watched? Is that what you've been watching, Ian?
I'm good, mate. I'm good.
Cool. Bex, do you want to start leading in with what we have been watching?
Whoa, going with that one first.
You can go with whichever one first you want.
Okay. Well, I won't go with that one because that's quite a short conversation because we've watched it a billion times. So we watched The Strangers, the 2008.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah.
Kind of them and Funny Games rip-offy type movie, basically. Oh, it's disappeared. I don't know what I've done. I've done something weird. No, there we go. Yeah, with Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman. Yeah, basically a very miserable looking couple go back to the Mister's family vacation home to stay there after a family wedding. And obviously something's kicked off. They're not really talking to each other. The place is covered in rose petals and there's champagne.
It kicked off because he proposed to her and she went, Well,
I haven't got to that bit yet. You later find out that it's because he proposed to her and she just kind of went, So, yeah.
Really need a pee. I'm going to be back, but I'm interested. So keep talking about The Strangers until I'm back.
Why don't I just pause until you get back?
Okay, do that then. Yeah,
all right, then.
I shall return.
Mark, I'm going to do your Buffy music.
I'm going to do my Buffy music.
Hey?
I'm going to do my Buffy music.
Ian's gone for a wee. Or hopefully a wee. We might be waiting a while. It's really good, is that, man?
It was, yeah.
I'm going to let you fill for a second because I need to go to the bathroom.
What's going on?
We're leaving you to hold the
Fort.
fort, yeah.
Am I reviewing the movie or am I pausing reviewing the movie?
No, Ian wants to hear our opinions.
All right, cool. Strangers, cool. Sorry, I've literally just come back from getting a drink and everyone's left. I'm on my own. Hi, listeners. This is Mark's brief little interlude. What else have we? Yeah. They were talking about The Strangers, but I'm not allowed to talk about it yet. So I'll talk about my Pepsi. It's good. Good Pepsi. Good Pepsi. What?
What are you saying?
I was talking about Pepsi. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Ian's just belched.
Nice.
Sorry.
Yeah. Everyone back in the room?
Yeah. Strangers.
I did some amazing drum filling there.
Was it good?
Sweet.
It was, yeah.
Good times.
Yeah, go
Yeah, so you find out that the reason they're being all shitty with each other and he's quite pissed off is because he proposed and she just was not enthused.
She was very Liv Tyler about it and kind of went a bit whiny, didn't she?
I mean, she is quite whiny and she does look like she's going to cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then basically they kind of make a little bit of peace about it and like, oh, where do we go from here? Blah, blah, blah.
They're about to get it on.
They're about to get it on, and then she realises she's out of fags and sends him to the shop. Is that mid almost getting off?
No, there's the knock on the door.
Oh, yeah, then there's a knock on the door.
He's just de-pantsed her, and then there's a knock on the door.
And there's a weirdo asking for someone. And
Amy.
It's not Amy.
Amanda.
Begins with a T.
Tina.
Let's say Tina. Tina here. No, Tina doesn't live here.
Thaddeus.
Are you sure? No. Yes, I'm sure. She doesn't live here. Go away. Then she doesn't go. And then they eventually close the door in her face. And then I think she goes. And then Liv Tyler realises she's out of cigarettes. And he's like, oh, I've got to the shop. I need to have a drive anyway. Because he's obviously still emotionally distraught about this knocked back wedding proposal. And then, yeah, while he's gone,
Can I point out a few things?
creepiness happens.
One, she's not actually out of cigarettes. She has a cigarette left. And two, she does that thing, doesn't she? Oh, I'm out of cigarettes. I'll go get some more. Oh, I wasn't meaning that. Yeah, you fucking were.
Yeah, you fucking were.
Yeah, you fucking were.
Girls everywhere are like, yeah, you fucking were.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of her wandering around the house hearing weird noises, and as a viewer you can see like creepy dudes in the background. She puts a phone onto charge because obviously we're not all obsessed with our phones and don't keep them fully charged all the time. Yeah, and then they basically get home invaded, which is like, it's a big fear for me. I'm very paranoid about it. So I should have really liked this film.
You'd seen it before.
I'd seen it before, but I wanted to give it another chance.
You told me it was good.
I told you it was probably better than I thought it was.
It's crap.
It's not great, is it?
It's terrible.
On a rewatch, I thought, because
wow, do I need to not watch this again then? Because I remember it being great.
No, it's not.
No, it's
it's
not good.
shit.
Just watch Funny Games or them.
Yeah, I was watching it all the way through going, right, so basically, and it wasn't even the general horror thing of, oh, don't go there, don't do that, oh, why would you do that? It's literally why would you do that?
We were sat screaming at the television, put some fucking shoes on!
For some reason, she doesn't have any shoes on. And to the point of where literally at one point he turns around to her and says, put some shoes on. And it's like she just goes,
nah.
And that's it.
At that point, they're running for the car, aren't they? Like down a
There's
tarmac driveway.
a break where he says, put some shoes on. And it's like she went, no, I'm not doing what you tell me to do. And then there's another point where she just runs blankly into the dark.
She does do that, and then she falls in a ditch.
Then she falls in a ditch.
Yeah.
But even that moment, it's not just her making the bad decisions. It's, we need to get to the barn. Why? There's a radio in the barn. All right, you stay here, though. What? I can see now why you said no.
Mm.
Unless he just wants you to die.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. She did say no.
She did say no. The problem with it is, it would be really creepy, except you're just getting annoyed by them.
Yeah. The masks are kind of creepy.
The masks are kind of creepy, but it's a bit like, you've seen creepy masks now. You're kind of done with creepy masks now.
Life is masks now, Mark.
It's just, it's like the cello chord thing on a trailer now. It's kind of like, yeah, it's masks. Fucking great. Brilliant.
The bit where he gets back as well and she's like really visibly freaked out.
Yeah,
and he just doesn't
believe
fucking
her.
believe her.
It's like, calm down now.
There's
You've
no
had a
one in
bad
the
day.
house.
There's nobody in the house. Like,
Based on what?
There might be. Literally, there was somebody weird knocking at the door before you left. There might be.
Oh, one good bit though, when he shoots his best friend right in the face.
He does shoot the douchebag from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Right in the face.
Right in the face.
Yeah.
And you kind of go, all right, I'd shoot that guy in the face if I got a chance.
And then he crawls out of the door to try and kind of check, but he has to get right up close to realise it's his best mate.
It's like,
and
oh no, faceless Mike.
Right, that's what we called it.
Oh no, faceless Mike.
Is that the sackhead man or is that Faceless Mike? Well, Faceless Mike's only got half a head mark, so I don't think it's him creeping around after her. Yeah.
I thought Faceless Mike might have still been a little bit alive, but just with half a face.
I mean, it's half a head. He blows off half his head with a shotgun.
It's a horror movie.
I don't think Faceless Mike's okay.
Yeah, it's not very good.
No, there are many, many films out there that do home invasion so much fucking better than this. Do not waste your time.
Yeah, don't watch it. What else do we watch? We rewatched The Bourne Identity.
Yeah, we fucking did.
For no reason.
Why did we do that?
I have no. I think it's because we're inadvertently trying to watch all of Frank Tempe's movies.
We're accidentally watching them all, aren't
Yes.
we? Yeah, we've got to watch Run Lola Run.
We've got to run another run at some point, yeah.
I mean, and the rest of the Bourne films now.
And apparently the rest of the Bourne films, yeah. Bourne Identity is a really good film, but he's starting to look its age.
Oh, he looks so young.
Yes, I mean, he does look young. That again, Becky's
how
how
time
age
works, yes, I'm aware.
yes.
But it's like, it's weird, like, in my head, The Bourne Identity is not from 2002. It's
No,
not nearly 20 years old.
Yeah, it's 20 years old.
Yeah.
18 years old.
18 years old. That's just mental to me, and it makes me feel old, so I don't like it.
Yeah. So yeah, we watched that. And we also watched The Perfect Storm because Mark likes horror movies.
Yeah, this is horror for you, isn't
It is horror.
Oh, yeah, of course it is. Okay.
This movie, for like the end 40 minutes, is me going, why? Why would you do this?
Yeah.
And a personal
To be
favourite
fair,
of,
even the bit
I don't like that.
Yeah. Nope.
Nope.
But even the bit when they're on like the nice calm water and it's sunny, you're like, no. You're just afraid of boats.
I'm afraid of boats and large bodies of water.
I mean, the big fish seem to freak you out a
The
bit
big
as well.
fish freak me out.
Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio seems to
Freaks
freak you
me
out.
out, yeah. The weird thing that the makeup department did with all of their facial hair freaked me out.
Yeah, that is weird. I've not noticed that before.
Yeah, it's like they're all like, rough seamen, yet they've all got like really well manicured mustaches where they've all got the same little bit trimmed just underneath the nose.
Yeah, it's very odd.
Yeah.
Very odd.
It's like
That's a lane though. So yay.
Yeah, I also did that thing you shouldn't do, like we just did with Ammonite, where when there's a real story and you start to read about what actually happened and you go, oh, so we already know none of this happened because it's the story of what happened, but they all die.
I always forget that they all die.
But then the other bit of it is most of this just isn't true. Like it wasn't a Category 5 storm. The winds weren't that bad. Nobody went out to save them. Basically, a lot of it didn't happen. And then when you start to look into the characters, you go, oh, they were all dicks.
It's just bobbins there.
It's bobbins, yeah. I thought, I really like this film. Should I read the book? Will it be like a good old fucking sea shanty? No, it sounds like misery porn.
Would it be a good old sea shanty?
That's a song.
Yeah, no, but like of a book.
Okay.
Speaking of misery porn, I recommended Dear Zachary to Sophie at work today.
Oh,
I'm interested to see what she thinks of that. She likes true crime shit.
Oh, for God's sake, of course she does.
Yeah, of course
because
she
there's
does.
no more basic people to exist.
Does yeah, that should make me think.
Fucking hell, buddy.
I don't like true crime stories. I don't fucking see the point. Stop it. Just stop it.
And then the only film I watched, do you have anything you watched on your own?
No.
No?
I don't think so. Did I?
I don't know.
You seem to say it like you knew that I had. Like, I've forgotten.
Well, I sent you to bed the other night while I played the end of...
I actually went to bed.
Oh, gosh. It was only about 10. What the fuck's up with you?
I'm old.
You big baby. What time do you got to bed, Ian?
What time do I go to bed?
Yeah.
Well, I go to bed at baby times, according to you guys, so...
Are we the weird ones?
Yeah, we're the weird ones.
Yeah, you're the weird ones, 100%.
Yeah.
Interesting, that. Sophie goes to bed at like 9:30.
I mean, that's a little early, but...
That's basically
She does get
eating.
up stupidly early to get to work 14 years early, though.
What did you watch on your own, Rebecca?
I watched Requiem for a Dream.
Wow.
Oh, here's some
Fucking
fucking
hell.
lights.
Why?
I really like Requiem for a Dream.
I don't think it's possible to like Requiem for a
It's a
Dream.
very good, very well made movie.
It's fucking
Those
miserable.
Uncut Gems.
But it's miserable though, isn't it?
Yeah. But I think the way that the drug taking is depicted as the little snapshots of, like cooking it and then putting it in the syringe and then injecting it, and then it's juxtapositioned against her legal drug taking from her prescription.
Yeah,
and stuff. And I think that's really, I think that's really interesting for its time, especially. Like a lot of films do that now. They put the dangers of the legal stuff up against the dangers of the illegal stuff and kind of show that they're both shit. But I don't think as many films did that at the time. And I think it's a really interesting watch, and watching the effects that obviously the diet pills are having on Ellen Burstyn that's in it. Yeah. And then obviously it's quite serious, miserable fucking movie about everyone's downfall due to drugs. And then there's that bit where she goes to essentially prostitute herself at a party. And then the whole gravity of the whole thing is just ruined by what next? Ass to ass! And then it's just ruined. The gravity is gone.
Yeah, because No, I'm fucking not going to say it.
What?
Because Aronofsky is somebody who occasionally needs somebody to kind of calm him down and go, stop it. Just stop it. Just you don't. No. He occasionally needs a grown up in the room.
Jared Leto loses his arm.
He does lose his arm because it's miserable.
It is miserable. Oh, it's grim as well. He's like gangrene.
Yeah, because gangrene's miserable. The thing is with Requiem for a Dream, I watched it. I never need to see it again.
How many times have you watched it though, Mark?
Twice.
Only twice.
Yeah. I don't need to watch it again. I've seen it. It's good. I don't think it's good as people want it to be.
I actually not enjoyed. That's the wrong word for it. I probably got more out of it on this watch. Maybe because I
might give it a rewatch.
Fucking miserable, innit?
But I just don't see why I want to make myself that miserable.
Because not all films are about like sitting and happily clapping your hands together and going, yeah.
I just at the moment, I think Requiem for a Dream would be a bit much for me as well, Bax, if I'm honest.
I think I'm having a different reaction. I want to watch Misery. I want to fucking revel in it. I want to roll around in the misery and just accept my lot.
Yeah.
Nice.
How long is Requiem for a Dream?
3 hours.
It's long as well, isn't it? Can you find out how long it is?
I'm looking now.
Cheers, Ben. Is that everything that you've rewatched?
That's all I watched on my own, yeah.
It's not 3 hours. It's
hour
and 42.
Jesus.
Fuck off. Requiem for a Dream is an hour and 42.
Yeah.
It's nice, snappy, pacey.
I might give it a rewatch in the next couple of weeks just so I can say to you, yeah, I should have rewatched that.
It's fucking miserable.
It's fucking miserable. I'm going to watch some Pauly Shore and watch the flavour out.
I don't watch Pauly Shore. Unless it's Biodome, and then I'll watch it with you because I actually quite enjoy Biodome.
I might watch Pauly Shore instead.
Biodome. Sorry.
Let's all watch Biodome. Let's do a retro review of Biodome.
We'll maybe save that when there isn't shit out. There's a lot out next week.
Oh, that fucking Rebecca thing's out, isn't it? It's like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And On the Rocks is out tomorrow, I believe.
Don't know. Borat 2's out on Friday.
Borat 2's out on Friday. So that's what we're covering next week, guys. But to continue this week.
So from one Sacha Baron Cohen extreme to the other.
I, Bobby G. Seale, have a motion pro se to defend myself. I'd like to invoke the precedent of Adams versus U.S. ex Rel McCann, where the Supreme Court...
All right, that's enough. Where are you learning these things? Does your young friend, Mr. Hampton, have a background in law?
Your Honor, the other defendants would like to join in Mr. Seale's motion.
Are you now speaking on behalf of Mr. Seale?
No, Your Honor, I'm speaking on behalf of the other defendants.
You're standing right next to him. Why don't you just represent him?
Because I'm not his lawyer, sir. And if I understand Mr. Seale, this last month and a half, and I believe I have, he is not represented by counsel.
Overruled.
I am being denied right
Mr.
now
Seale,
my constitutional
will you be quiet?
right for
Will
legal
you?
representation.
Will you be quiet? You have lawyers to speak for you.
No, he doesn't.
The Trial of the Chicago 7 is written and directed by Aaron Sorkin and stars Yaha Abdul-Mateen, Sacha Baron Cohen, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Michael Keaton, Frank Langella, John Carroll Lynch, Eddie Ray-Bans, Mark Rylance, Jeremy Strong, and some other people crop up here and there. What is the story of? It is the story of the Chicago 7/Chicago 8. A bunch of anti-Vietnam activists who attend protests and organise protests for the Democratic nomination in 1968, but then are arrested and charged with conspiracy to incite violence, essentially.
I was going to say the right to remain funky, but it's not that then.
It's not that this time round.
Crossing state lines with the...
Crossing state lines with the...
To conspire.
To conspire. And is essentially the story of the trial, one of the most notorious trials in American history.
It's bullshit as well, because Yaya was only there for 4 fucking hours.
Anyway, we'll get to all of that. And the story of that also told through the actual events that happened through flashbacks going through, and a lot of snappy Sorkin-y dialogue. Ian, Trial of Chicago 7, what did you think?
So I was eating it up like Kiki eats dog food for the first hour or so. Really, 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 really in. I think it's interesting that everyone seems to have suddenly decided that Aaron Sorkin's shit, given how much everyone seems to bang on about the West Wing. When his dialogue often is witty, and I enjoy hearing it. But I will say towards the end, it was getting a little bit right. These characters aren't the characters from The Social Network. When are you going to calm down a little bit? It was interesting. I thought it felt like his directorial debut, and Molly's Game was his second film, where I thought there were some really fucking stagey moments. Like, One Night in Miami, people have said that that's quite theatrical and whatnot. It's like, One Night in Miami doesn't have a scene that literally starts with all the characters in darkness, a couple almost basically being the fucking Greek chorus in the left. And then it's almost like the lights fucking come up and then they start acting. There were a couple of scenes like that where it kind of felt like they ran the camera like 5 seconds before they were supposed to, and it was like, right, start acting now. I will say as well, Daniel Pemberton, I usually really like his scores. I thought this one was a little bit misjudged. Like, the opening, for example, that music was going fucking hell for leather. And it was almost like, this is going to be a jaunty romp. It was like, no. Just, no. I really, really liked it. I thought that Sacha Baron Cohen, as long as Borat 2 isn't shit, I think is probably going to win Best Supporting Actor next year. Because it's showy, and it's meant to be showy. But his character does have some really fucking good lines as well, and Baron Cohen acts the shit out of it. And I will say, well done. It didn't make me hate Eddie Redmayne.
Before I get into my bit of it, I actually turned around to Bex at one point in it and went, all right, fuck it, I'm going to say it. Eddie Redmayne is really fucking good in this.
Yeah, he's all right. He's good. He is good. Yeah, I mean, like, it got me reacting in the right ways. Like, I was kind of shouting at the TV because I'd had a couple of drinks and, but it almost felt like a film made for people who already feel this way. I don't know, like, this is not a film made for Trump fans, because all they're going to do is say, well, yeah, of course this is what the left think. It almost, in a weird way, it almost felt like a pointless film because it's not going to convince anybody of anything.
I don't think it's necessarily there to do that, is it, though? It's not, people are very polarised. You're not changing anyone's mind on
nowadays,
anything.
no,
you might as well not bother.
You're not going to change people's minds nowadays.
No, but I mean, like, this started off several years ago as a Spielberg project, and it's like, it felt like if Spielberg was making it, it would be aching to do that. I think maybe Sorkin directing it has made it a bit more entertaining.
But I think in 2007, 2008, when they originally started, sort of Sorkin and Spielberg started the process of making it, the world was a very, very different place to what it is now.
Yeah, this feels like an Obama administration film, not a Trump administration film. It feels like it's a message for this time. But to be fair, Queen and Slim is a message of this time, and it feels more modern. But I like the Trial of the Chicago 7 didn't. It felt Sorkin-y, and that's nice. But I don't think it's as necessary as maybe it thinks it is. But I mean, I'm intrigued to see what you guys thought.
Thanks.
I really, really, really like the Trial of Chicago 7. It's up there pushing for Film of the Year for me.
Cool. Okay.
It made me feel all the things. Very angry with Frank Langella. Could have punched Eddie Ray-Bans when he stood up in the fucking court after they'd said just sit down. Don't care if it was a reflex. Sit the fuck down. I think it does really well at carrying you along with the emotion of the characters and what it wants you to feel. I think it's really successful in doing what it's intending to do. Yeah, I really loved it, and I thought the stylized way it told the story, like with the gosh, what's it called, like the exposition-y bits being done as part of Sacha Baron Cohen's stand-up. Loved that. I thought that was really clever, because you have to get it in, and there's certain bits that you don't necessarily want to have to act out and show, but you have to tell them for context. And I thought that was a really good way of doing it. I thought it was really, really well acted. Like you say, Eddie Redmayne was not insufferable in it, so there was that. That's always good. Yeah, I really want to watch it again, actually, to kind of go, hang on, was I just a bit carried away with the emotion of it all? The ending of it, obviously, is very much like, fuck yeah, stand up and read those fucking names, absolute bastards. But yeah, I did not expect to be as moved by it as I was, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I really liked the score. I really like Daniel Pemberton. He's fast becoming.
I fucking love Daniel Pemberton. Don't get me wrong. I just not this time.
Yeah.
That bit at the beginning with the kind of jaunty music, I think that was it was supposed to be representative of the high spirits with which this was started. It wasn't intended to end how it ended. It wasn't supposed to end in riots. They were going to kind of go, right, we're gonna show these people how much we disagree with this fucking war, and it was supposed to be this whole positive thing, and I think the music is supposed to kind of highlight that, and then obviously it takes a turn.
In the parlance of our times, I thought it was a bit extra.
That's fair.
I was, for the first about 10-15 minutes, taken out by the fact that I was trying to work out where Jeremy Strong had got that voice from. And then once I realised where he got the voice from, I was like, right, fine, I can settle down and start actually fucking enjoying this movie. Because it was, when something is irking you and taking you out of it, and I realised it's Bill Murray from Caddyshack.
Okay, yeah, all right.
And I was like, fair enough. Carry the fuck on. It was more stylized than I expected.
I think that's why I liked it more than I expected.
But I do love a courtroom drama, and so because of that, and because it was very courtroom drama-y, I was like, all right, yeah, I'm fucking cool with this.
Abby Hoffman was cool as fuck as well.
Again, I think I'm in between where both of you are, in the fact that I really enjoyed it, and I really it annoyed me in the way it should annoy me, anything like that. But also, I do think it's a little bit, to an extent, the stylization of it. It's not hyper stylized by any stretch of the imagination, but it is. It's tweaked a little bit beyond the reality of these people. It's tweaked ever so slightly to them.
Stuff like this is always going.
Which is fine, but it is a little bit like, I'm very glad we got this version than a 13 years ago or 12 years ago Spielberg version. Because I think that would have been very dry, and we'd have had a big booming John Williams score at the end, and it would have finished, and everyone's dad would have liked it, but we'd have probably gone,
yeah,
a little bit like that. Whereas this, it felt a little bit bouncier, and I quite got on with that. But I can also see the fact that it's telling a story we already know, but I don't think most people know the story, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
That's out there. Sacha Baron Cohen is very good. I like the change scene you get with it. The fact that Redmayne's character is constantly thinking that he's the most level-headed in the room, and that literally he says it at one point, someone's got to start acting like grown-ups.
Yeah.
And he thinks he's the grown-up in the room, but he's told by Mark Rylance, you want to give him a little bit of credit. He's a lot smarter than you seem to think he is. And then in the room when Rylance is going, right, do you want to know how it's going to fucking go? And goes at him. And basically, he's not saying this is the smoking gun. This tape is a smoking gun. He's saying you are the smoking gun because you think you're level-headed, but you're not.
Yeah.
You're not. When you get wound up, you become what you think he is. When he gets wound up, he becomes what you think you are. He can stay level-headed in that. But there's a great moment that I think is the moment that, like you're saying, Ian, if things land well, the moment that will win that will win Sacha Baron Cohen the Oscar is his reaction to Eddie Redmayne when he works out that he meant to say our. And then he starts going over, oh my God, and he starts going, you use this, and it's a really irritating thing you do, and you're right. And he's like, you've read my things. Like, I've read everything you've written. You're a really talented guy.
Apart from
the fact that you keep doing this.
Yeah.
And then it's like, right, okay, you're not just playing a character. You're not playing one of your characters, Sacha. You're playing... Because at point he is a little bit of a Sacha Baron Cohen character. But at that moment, he goes, no, I haven't been playing a Sacha Baron Cohen character. I've been playing a character to essentially to pay for all of this defense and all of this fucking shit that we're going through.
Yeah.
And here I am. And I thought it was a really nice moment for it. You get all of the Sorkinism, you get a showiness of it. And it's a very good point, that, Ian. This feels more like a first move than Molly's Game did.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that was really interesting. Yeah, that point actually. Yeah, I totally did get that from this. I really liked it. It will probably be in my. I both hope it is and hope it isn't in my top 10 at the end of the year, because I'd be very happy for it to be there. But if I see 10 films that are better than this in the next 2.5 months, that's fucking cool.
This feels more Sorkin-y than Molly's Game, though.
It does feel more Sorkin-y because you've got that, you've got the roundness of it all. That's there. But I think this is more akin to, and I've not seen it, so I might be talking absolute fucking bobbins here. But this is more akin to West Wing, Sorkin. And Molly's Game, I think, is more akin to Social Network Sorkin. In the sense that it's this is telling a lot of stories at once that all are heading the same way, whereas Social Network is telling a small story that's heading a big way, and that's what Molly's Game does. Molly's Game is focused on one.
See, I don't agree there.
Single
I think
character.
Social Network it tells all the characters' stories and then pulls them together.
I don't think it does. I think it's telling a few different versions of the same story, but through Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Whereas this is trying to tell you everybody's story. But I think it's very, very good. I really, really, really enjoyed it. And like I said, I'm glad we got this version of it rather than a more dry version that we could have gone. Because I think it's a preposterous story. Give it a film that isn't going to try and tell the world off.
Yeah. I think I like the way that it brings together, like you say, you've got the juxtaposition there of the really serious one that thinks he's a grown up. When he gets wound up, he kicks off. The silly one, when he's fine, when he gets pissed off, he gets serious. And it's like, you don't expect, under extreme circumstances, for Sacha Baron Cohen's character to be the one that is the grown up there. And I like it pulls together all these different kinds of characters. You've got fairly anarchic kind of characters in the Abby Hoffman and the what's his name?
Fuck.
Rubin.
Jerry Rubin.
Jerry Rubin. Yeah, a man who literally became a wealthy stockbroker.
Yeah. And then you've got like the establishment guys in obviously Eddie Redmayne's character, and is he called Rennie?
Yeah, but then you've got things like a great. I actually think that the most heartbreaking moment in the movie, and it's not a movie of heartbreaking moments, but it's a movie of moments where you're watching it going, oh, fucking hell. Isn't any of the Langella things, it's the fact that they managed to piss off David Dellinger to the point of where he punches somebody. And you've got a perfect person in John Carroll Lynch to play that, because you can see him getting angry and getting wound up, and then he punches the guy because of the injustice of it all, but you can see him hit him, and he thinks straight away, he's like, I don't do that. That isn't what I do, and it's caused him to break a core part of himself.
Yeah.
You've broken what is a really good man who shouldn't be there.
I like John Carroll.
You know, and you can break the guys like you haven't broken Abby Hoffman and Jerry Rubin because they kind of are supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And then the wonderful way that it deals with the other two characters, where literally at one point, is it Abby turns around and says, "You guys, why are you here? Do you ever ask yourself that?" And they both go, "Every day." And then he tells them, and then literally you don't even see a shot of them after that. And it's a great way of dealing with them, of going, "You're here to get rid of it," and then it doesn't. That explains why they're not there later on.
Yeah.
It's a really fucking good film, but I can see why Ian, you didn't quite get as high as maybe Bex had it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I thought it was really, really good, and if it wasn't for the kind of the wealth of LFF stuff I've watched over the last few weeks, I probably would have said, yeah, it'll be a pit in my top 10, but it wasn't quite there for me. But God, yeah, no, I mean, it's a really, really fucking good couple of hours. Don't get me wrong.
Can I just point out how impactful a performance it is from Abdul Mateen as well?
Yeah.
Considering he's not really part of the story. He doesn't have an awful lot to do, but he's so memorable. Like, just with his objections and stuff.
The fact that he's just getting so... He manages to be calmly angry in a wonderful way.
You're refusing me counsel. You've got a counsellor sat right next to you, but he's not representing me. But... It's just the absurdity.
Also, Rylance is fucking brilliant.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Really is.
Rylance is fucking brilliant. And the bit when he loses his fucking temper.
Yeah. Oh God, when he's getting all their fucking names wrong. Fucking Vineglass.
Yeah.
Wineglass. Yes, Mr. Vineglass. It's Wineglass.
Right. So yeah, definitely not shit.
Definitely not shit.
All right.
Our audience poll: 60% definitely not shit, 20% touching cloth, and 20% shit. We have a question.
Oh.
I've got questions.
I haven't prepared.
Well.
I haven't prepared an answer.
Rick Kid at Rick J Kid. If you could own one car from a film with all the specs from the film, i.e. the Bond Aston Martin has all the gadgets, or Herbie has a mind of its own, what car would you pick?
Catbus.
Oh, you went in there strong straight away, didn't you?
Yeah. I want that fucking Catbus.
The Tesla that the woman in the snowman owns, so that I can have a Tesla.
Oh, Mark, you look so disappointed.
I just remember watching The Snowman and thinking, like, oh shit, it's a Tesla. It left an impression on me.
That's fair. Mark? Maybe you're broken. Do you want to get in the Catbus with me?
No! How sticky would it be in there? It's freaking me out, the Catbus.
It's very inside.
I don't like the idea
Oh, I
of
don't know, man. There's a lot of like... There's a lot of fucking moving body parts being smushed all over the place in that motherfucker.
No, I'm not. What is it? I'm gonna go really fucking basic. Not as basic as Ian. I'm picking just a fucking generic car.
Which one was Tesla?
Oh, fucking yeah, I want that. Oh, I want the car from Bob Carroll Ellis. Fucking what is it? Seriously, a Tesla, because it's a Tesla. What even a better film that had a Tesla in it?
Well, there probably has been. All right, fucking hell. All right, it was the first thing that came to mind. I don't know. The Batmobile. There you go.
Is that going to be what you pick?
No.
What are you going with?
I'm going basic, but not that basic. Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds.
Ah, that's not a bad answer, actually. Yeah. No, I'm still sticking my cat bus.
Catless one's freaking me out.
It's amazing. It's just like leaping across the countryside. You're there just driving your normal fucking car, just on roads and shit, and I'm leaping across hills and stuff. With a grinning cat.
No. I'm murdering the planet.
Yeah.
Right? While Ian's driving around with a car beeping at him trying to find an electronic charging point.
And I'm leaping over hills.
And then when he gets there, there's a little sign of notice stuck to it that just says, "You had all the clues, Mr. Policeman."
I'll take that. Mr. Police, I gave you all the clues.
We started watching
where the nearest
stuff
charging
a while ago.
Yeah, it just petered out, that
And
didn't
it petered out a little bit,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm just imagining having a cat bus now. I'm well excited. Can it happen?
No.
Can Rick J. Kidd make it come true?
No, I don't think he
If
can.
anyone could, he could.
If anyone could, it would be. Right.
You alright, Matt?
No.
Why?
I don't know. Yours just freaked me out, and he picked just a car.
You picked just a car.
But it's a fucking aspirational car. I know his is an aspirational car. It possibly says that.
Tesla. Yeah.
Car, yours, isn't it?
It is a Great White Buffalo. This is a car that I walk past every day.
You don't
I'm sorry.
Because it freaked me the fuck out.
Can you imagine it just fucking
The
grilling
car
at
went meh at me.
Oh, the car in Who Framed Roger Rabbit's pretty good as well. That one walks on its tyres.
Freaking me out with all these fucking weird cars now.
You don't want a normal car, do you? They're boring.
I don't want a car with its own mind.
Why? You can talk to it. Oh, Kit! Oh, that's not a movie.
Actually, no, they do a Night Ride movie.
Kit. Have Kit.
Right, so, mild tangent. I know we're nearing the end of the show. Mild tangent. Do you ever have a movie that, or something that reminds you, when you say the name of it, it reminds you of a weird, like a taste or something like that, because you associate that taste with that movie or anything like that? No? Just me on this one?
Possibly, yeah, babe. Yeah.
Ian, is this just me on this one?
Yeah, I think so, mate.
So, Knight Rider, the movie. They made a movie of it.
Did you see it in the cinema?
What?
Did you see it?
No, because it was made before I went to the cinema at that age, but I rented it a few times. But for some reason, I always associate it with a Milky Bar, because I must have watched it eating a fucking Milky Bar at some point. So whenever I think of Knight Rider the movie, it makes me want a Milky Bar.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
We'll go get you a Milky Bar after we finish recording. We won't watch Knight Rider.
Generally, is that just me? For like certain like...
There's none I can think of.
Because it works for like songs as well. Like if you hear Tiny Dancer, you want to watch Almost Famous, for instance.
Yeah.
But not. Okay, cool, brilliant. Thanks. Just me on that one.
Just on flavours, I think, yeah.
Alright.
I'm with you though.
Just me and Craig David. What are you covering next week, Ian?
So like you said earlier on, it's quite a busy one. Ben Wheatley's Rebecca hits Netflix. We've got Sofia Coppola's On the Rocks and Borat 2. So, yeah, it's a busy one again. Honest Thief is out in cinemas, but I can't. So there's that. But it sounds like we're going to have enough to talk about. We're going to be recording the Fincher show. I'll be honest, guys. Was going to talk to you about this after. I don't think I'm going to be able to get everything done by Wednesday because my OCD is compelling me to watch Aliens before Alien 3, and then I've also got to watch 7. So I might need to rearrange.
That's cool.
When are you thinking?
The weekend?
I want to late on Saturday, aren't you?
We can do Sunday. We can do Sunday.
We'll sort something out.
Yeah, we'll sort something out.
We'll sort something out. We've also got the Resident Evil 2 board game playthrough for patrons coming up. I believe we're doing that next week.
Yeah.
So
I'm really like weirdly looking forward to this, but I have no idea what the fuck it is.
I have to try and get my head around the instructions.
I'm not reading the instructions.
No, but that makes that you just no chaotic evil.
It'll be a laugh.
So that was episode 368, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're such a good host.
Better than you.
I'm a really good host whenever I host.
You don't host.
Well, that's why I'm really good at whenever I do. I don't.
Right, so next week, Becky's hosting.
No.
It's really confusing.
So, yeah, thank you very much for listening, guys. Thank you very much, Becky.
Oh, thank you very much for having me.
And thank you very much, Ian.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
This podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.